back here, and I'm really looking forward to this race. I'm also delighted to say I do actually have one of the team managers with me straight away. I've got Michael Booker here, who is the manager of Ferrari, Haas and Racing Point. Good evening, Michael. Not too bad. So are you looking forward to this race here for your three teams?
I got some guys like it and some don't, so very interesting. They seem to be a good race, but I think there's a few safety cars.
Well, traditionally there is here, and you've got, of course, your two drivers battling it out at the top of the championship, so hopefully they'll be on the best behaviour as well.
It's not anymore goes down and now moves to Red Bull, so mechanical packages nowadays for Ferrari drivers, so that'll be...
Oh right, yes, sorry, yes, I got that wrong. Yeah, sorry, I got that from the website. Yes.
There's a few new transfers, yeah.
Yes, I have got all that written down. But Stephen's
yeah,
still rising high at the top, so he'll be looking to extend his lead, no doubt, because he's currently 4 points clear at the top.
Yeah, let's say the last couple of races will record the plan, so hopefully we can get that out of the way, and hopefully actually finish Germany, because the other ones have a good record here, so...
Yes, definitely. And Haas Boy's looking strong as well, up in 4th in the championship, not far away from Mercedes as well. You must be delighted with that.
Definitely. I mean, saying that, but we didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But with Jamie in the Haas now, little hidden gem there,
Hopefully, yes. So, well, all... Yes. Yeah, it will be very, very good to see him in that Haas. Well, all the best, Michael. I'll let you go back to your drivers now. I know it's an important part of qualify now for you boys, but hopefully maybe talk to you in the middle of the race, or if not, I'll talk to you at the end.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll catch you guys.
Yeah, see you later.
Good.
So yes, you join me here for the German Grand Prix, one of the oldest tracks on the calendar here at Hockenheim, and there'll be a small pause now while we just wait for the beginning of Q1. So just very, very quickly as well before qualifying starts, I'm also very pleased to say I've got another manager been able to join us for a chat, Mr. JBL, who's manager of Mercedes, Renault, Alfa Romeo and Williams. Good evening. So are you looking forward to this race here with your drivers and teams?
Yeah, I think my drivers are very good. I really hope, because although there is a lot to happen, I hope that we can capitalise on after the especially.
No, that's fine. So you've got your Mercedes team a little bit off in the championship. They'll definitely be looking to close up. Do you think this will be a track that will suit them?
The Ferraris seem to go around a bit, especially their engine power. Mercedes will be close behind.
Yes, it is a lot about power around here, with it being such long straights and acceleration zones as well. You've got Renault as well, which are traditionally a bit low on power as well. They're currently 6th in the championship, not that far ahead of McLaren. So it's going to be quite an important race here for Renault. Try and get some good points in as well. Likewise as well, Alfa Romeo. They're sort of 8th in the championship, a little way ahead of Toro Rosso, a little way behind McLaren. So hopefully with their Ferrari power, they could have a good race as well.
Yeah, they should. The Alpha especially right? Hopefully they can collect some points. I've got a good line of Alfa Romeo and
Yes, definitely. And of course, Williams, now you've got a former champion in your lineup. That was a big fillip for the team.
yeah, Callum seems content, should I say, for the Williams, but he can clearly tell from that boat and the teams that he raced in last season.
Indeed, yes. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Good luck for this evening. Q1's about to start, so I'll let you get back to your drivers now. And all the best for later on.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. So, that was great to be able to talk to two of the managers before the session starts. Just wait for Q1 to load. We have, I believe, got a full grid this evening. We do have one driver change this evening just to talk about, and that is Gregor is not racing in the McLaren. We have Justin Hyam taking his place instead in the McLaren. That's the only driver change that I've been made aware of. So it should be a good race this evening. Don't forget Q1. For those of you that don't know, we have the bottom 5 from qualifying will go out. The top 15 will progress. So mainly, especially for the top teams, it will just be a case of getting their cars through. So you could see some different strategies here, but the main thing, like I said, especially for the top 3 teams, the Ferraris, the Mercedes and the Red Bulls, is just get through safely. Don't make any mistakes. Don't over push. And make a mistake will damage your car. So waiting for the first cars to go out. 18 minutes in this session as well. So they've got quite a lot of time. Normally get at least 3 runs in if needed. Quite a short lap here as well, which does also help them in terms of timing. So 30 seconds in. And I've just been told as well, for the weather report for this race, is that qualifying will be completely dry, but the race is looking like full wet conditions. And I've seen some brilliant races in the rain in this league. There's 2 qualifying bans as well, just to make you aware. Joe Newman in the Toro Rosso has a qualifying ban, as does Matt Anderson in the Renault. So they will not be taking part in this qualifying session. This is one of the Haas cars heading out, which is Jamie Keats. There he is. Looks like some technical issues there for Chris Harley in the Alfa Romeo. But we've got our first car out on the track. And the other Renault of Patrick has gone out as well. So we've got a couple of cars now headed straight out. There is the Renault. So, yes, Patrick at the moment scored 17 points in the championship so far. Renault doing well up at 6. They're only 6 points behind Racing Point. They're only 12 behind Haas. So, although we've got the fight up in front, of course, between Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes. Look out for that midfield battle. We've got Haas, Racing Point, Renault and McLaren separated by less than 30 points. So it's going to be, could be quite a crucial race for some of these teams. The likes of Renault and McLaren could close right up, or Haas and Racing Point could pull away from those. And of course, don't forget Haas, like I said to Michael, they're only 24 points behind Mercedes. If Mercedes have a bad race and Haas have a good one, they could be in with a chance of closing in there. So here is Patrick. Lost a bit of time there to Jamie on his outlap. That won't affect him, but it might affect Jamie. Jamie will get a slight slipstream on these long straight sections at the start of the lap, but later on I think he could struggle in that dirty. I saw him already had a bit of a slide there through turns 2 and 3 into this long left-hander heading down towards the hairpin. I will try and get an on-board lap at some point during qualifying, so you can see this lap. Quite a few cars now going out as well. Dean is out in the Mercedes. Likewise, Gareth has gone out in the Haas. And Jamie Callan has gone out as well. He, of course, is in the Red Bull. So there's a there is Gareth Lamborn actually just ahead of the Renault here of Patrick. Hopefully he won't get in his way as they come into the final sector. This is the stadium section here. Ooh, well, Gareth, there might be a little bit of words with the stewards there, because Gareth hasn't got out of his way. And Patrick goes across on a 1:12.5. Immediately Jamie goes quicker, 1:12.4. But I can't help feeling that Patrick lost a lot of time there towards the end of the lap. This here is Anthony Bauer in the Ferrari. Let's see how he can get on. Good middle sector. Down into this final part of that Sachs curve really does help you, as Ant Waddington goes fastest in the Mercedes, 1:12.1. It's a good lap from him. I think pole position should be in the 1:11s, so that's a good lap time there from Jamie. And Anthony Bauer does a 1:12.0. So they're all going out on the soft tyre. Here is Callum in the Williams on his outlap. Yellow flag in section 2. It's one of the Renaults going slowly. I think Patrick letting some cars go through. So he's back up to speed again now. So who else is on a lap? Here is Jamie Callan on a lap as well, just coming out of the hairpin. And behind him is his teammate as well, Dan Blackwell. They're both Red Bulls very close to each other on track, but they're both on their first flying lap into turn 8. Some weird numbering systems again around here. Some corners you think aren't corners are actually counted officially as corners, so I will try and show you that a little bit later on, as Dean goes fastest in the Mercedes, 1:11.8, so good effort from him on his first qualifying lap. Got a few cars now setting lap times. Matt in the Alfa Romeo goes 6th. Gareth has gone 7th in a slow lap, so I think he made a mistake there somewhere. As here comes Jamie Callan, and he goes 4th on the 1:12.3. And there is an Alfa Romeo going slowly. Not quite sure who that is. It is Chris Harley on his outlap, trying to get himself a bit of space. So let's see if we can have an on-board lap here. Down into turn 1, well, 155 miles an hour, 7th gear. Back on the power, another DRS over here up to turn 2. Then he brake very, very hard. 60 miles an hour on the apex, and that is 3. So this left-hander is counted as 4. A little bit of curve on the exit. Next DRS zone. This is counted as turn 5 with Parabolica. And you're heading up to about 200 miles an hour here, just over 200. And then very, very deep on the brakes, down to 35 there miles an hour on the apex of turn 6. Back on the power as soon as you can. Turn 7 here, absolutely flat, about 175 miles an hour. Up into turn 8, brake hard. 65 on the apex. That's turn 9. This is 10. Almost full throttle through those two corners. And into the mobile 1 curve. This is turn 11. Flick down. Well, didn't actually go down to gear, about 150 miles an hour on the apex. Sachs curve. Camber to the inside does help you a lot. You're on the power nice and early there. Flat out chicane here. And into these last two right-handers. 90 for the first. And about 105 per second on the power, nice and early. And then back out onto the pit straight again as Chris goes 8th in the Alfa Romeo. Callum is 10th. So current order, Dean fastest in the Mercedes, Anthony Bauer 2nd, Ant Waddington is 3rd, Jamie Callum 4th, Jamie Keats is 5th. Then in 6th place we have the Renault of Patrick. Dan is 7th in the second Red Bull. In 8th position is Arthur Bowler in the Racing Point, followed by the 2 Alfa Romeos, currently 9th and 10th. Callum is 11th. 12th place is Andrew, his teammate. Bit of rivalry going on between those two as well to look out for. They're definitely going to be out to look for each other. And McLaren, Justin Hyams just gone 11th. And then we've got Gareth 14th in the Haas. I think he's run out of fuel, so he's just cruising back to the pit lane slowly. So Joe Newman and Matt Anderson, of course, not in the session, so we're only going to lose 3 from here. Here is Ollie in the other Racing Point. Yellow flag there, I think that's for Gareth. Yes, Gareth calling back to the pits. So here is Ollie in the Racing Point. Let's see how he does. A lot of traffic ahead of him. There's a Ferrari, a Toro Rosso and a McLaren in there. I think McLaren's getting out of his way. There by McLaren. So that Racing Point really set up well, isn't it? And he was flat through 9 and 10 there. So definitely got that car nicely set up. Coming into this last section, this slow, tricky section here. Really just had to curve still. That Racing Point looks good. Let's see what he can do. His teammate is up in 8th on a 1:12.881. As always, the qualifying lap times here so close, a little bit wide in that final corner, and Ollie goes across the line to go 11th. It's good enough for now. Sam has just gone out, and we've got Stephen and Scott out as well in the Toro Rosso. Here is Stephen, current World Championship leader by 4 points. So he will be looking to get immediately up near the top of the timing screen. It's quite interesting though what JBL was saying about, I think Ferrari will be much stronger than the Red Bull's going to struggle here. And the Honda has made big advances in the last couple of seasons, but still, in terms of out and out power, not quite there with the Ferrari. They need to overtake Mercedes now as Ferrari. So all very wide there for Stephen. Coming out of turn 10, tried to stay full throttle and just ran out of road. And yes, he's backed out of the lap. Oh, don't get away the Toro Rosso, that was close, Scott. Luckily, was just far enough behind for that not to be an issue. So let's see what Scott can do on his first flying lap. Into the last corner. And he goes across the line, and he goes 12th. On 13.5. So at the moment, there's Gareth, Sam, and Stephen not making it through. Sam and Stephen yet to set a lap time. Stephen's gone back to the pits. Here is Sam. A lot of wheel spin there. He gets it at that hairpin. And, really revving highly, isn't it? He's got a problem with the gears, or there seems to be revving very, very highly. He's come into the final sector once again, fully committed in the mobile corner there. Touch grass on the outside on the way in. Just about managed to keep it under control. And Sam has gone 11th, 1:13.3. Not a bad effort there in the McLaren. His teammate is 14th. 11th and 14th for the two McLarens. Gareth's gone back out on track. He's done a 15.4 on his first run. He's actually gone out on the same set of tyres as well. So it could be a little bit harder for him to get a quicker lap time out of them. Because it won't take as long to heat up as well. So he can take it a little bit easier on his out lap. Won't need to push quite as hard. Who else is out on track? Dan Blackwell's still out in the Red Bull. So is Arthur Bowler and Anthony Bauer. They're all still out on track. Stephen's gone back out as well. And Sam's on his in-lap. So current top 10, Dean fastest from Anthony, Ant Waddington is third, Jamie Cannon is fourth, Jamie in excellent fifth, sixth for the Renault of Patrick, seventh Dan, eighth Arthur, ninth is Chris Harley in the Alfa Romeo, 10th is Matt in the second Alfa Romeo, then we've got Sam, Ollie, Scott, Justin Hyam is 14th. Callum is currently just on the drop zone in 15th place, but ahead of his teammate in 16th. As Gareth runs very, very wide. He's 17th, and that's cost him time. He ran so wide in turn 2. He's 6/10 of a second down, so I don't know if he'll have enough time to bolt back to the pits and put another set of tyres on, because I think this lap might be ruined. Stephen is on his flying lap as well. He has gone with a new set of soft tyres. So it didn't stay with the old tyres. So let's see what he can do. His teammate is currently second. And Patrick has retired from the session, so he obviously feels comfortable up there in sixth on a 1:12.5. Again, as so often you see rounds on tracks that are short like this with a very quick lap time. Look how close it is there between 4th and 9th is covered by less than half a second, so that's going to be great in Q2. See who can make it through there. It's going to be very, very tight in that battle. As Stephen enters the final sector. Didn't even use all the curb on the exit there. He's gone purple as well in that middle sector. Oh, he's run wide a Sachs curve. He should just about have enough. Zach Waddington has also retired. He feels comfortable in third. Stephen crosses the line and he goes 11th. That will just about be enough. I think a 13.2 as Callum's going back out again. Gareth has gone back to the pits. He should have just enough time to get a new set of tyres on that and head back out. Here comes Callum on his second run. Brand new set of tyres as well. Oh, a little bit wide in turn 1. Didn't get the apex. Might have a little bit. Yes, his lap's been disallowed. So he won't get the lap in this time here, Callum. This lap has been disallowed. So who else is out on track? Stephen, is he going for it again? I think he might be. A few drivers deciding to retire from the session, feeling comfortable. And Stephen isn't quick enough in this second lap. He's half a second down, so I think he'll have to be content with 11th. But we did see him make that mistake, so I don't think that's his ultimate pace. So Callum slowing right down now. He's going to have one more attempt at this. We've got 2.5 minutes of the session to go. Joe Newman and Matt Anston, of course, don't forget, they have got qualifying bans, so they're not taking part at the moment. The other three that are out of the sessions, the two Williams of Callum and Andrew, and Gareth Lambourne in the hat. So they are the bottom three at the moment. Callum is out on track. He's had one lap disallowed. Let's see if he can improve on his second lap. Into turn 1. He missed the apex last time. This time, absolutely perfect. Down towards turn 2. And again, got the car in nicely there. I think there's a Williams going slowly. I think his teammates come out as well. Oh, that's not helped. That's not helped at all. The two Williams are contacted. The two Williams have made contact. Can you believe it? Well, Matt went to the right-hand side to try and get out of his teammate's way quite late, in reality, really. And Callum misread it. And the two Williams, well, we said about this rivalry between them. And they've already come to blows in Q1. And the thing is that's definitely cost Callum the chance of going through. Is there any damage to Andrew's car? We saw him go right off the track. But that is definitely the end of Callum's race. Qualifying, sorry. He won't have enough time to get back to the pits. And, well, can you believe it? We said about this big rivalry between them, and they've come to blows almost immediately. So, Gareth, let's see how he's doing. He's 2/10 up. He needs to find about a second and a half to get himself through. But we did see him make a couple of errors in the final part of the lap, and he's a quarter of a second up at the moment. So can Gareth improve? There's a Toro Rosso going very slowly there. Hopefully that will get out of his way. As long as it stays right, it'll be fine, and it does. That is Scott Larvin in the Toro Rosso. So let's see how Gareth does. He's up again in the middle sector. So Gareth at the moment having a very good championship. He's 12th in the table with 62 points. So he's having a very good season, is Gareth. As he comes through the final corner a little bit wide, didn't get the apex. He's got the fuel, he might just get one more lap in. And he does improve to a 15.3. He might just have enough to get one more lap in. Here is Andrew. He's nearly 2/10 down in the first sector, but this lap's been disallowed as well. So that is our bottom three, unless Gareth can improve. Let's have a look. He's still staying on it. Does he have enough fuel? He literally crossed the line with a split second to spare. So I think he might just have enough fuel to do this. Andrew's had his lap disallowed. So I know Gareth's backed out of it. I think he hasn't. I heard his engine go down a little bit. He's been pushing quite hard. Let's have a look. Yes, he's a quarter of a second up, so he hasn't given up yet. Very good middle sector from Gareth. Through the last section of the lap. What an effort this would be if he can just sneak into Q2 here. Not quite, that's unlucky for Gareth. He remains in 18th on the grid. So there we have our 5 cars who are out of the session. The 2 Williams coming together. They will not be happy about that at all, and certainly their manager won't be. The 2 Williams are out, so is Gareth, and of course Joe and Matt with their qualifying bans. The top 10, Dean in the Mercedes from Anthony Bauer, and Waddington 3rd. Jamie Callan 4th, Jamie Keats in 5th. In 6th place is Patrick, 7th for Dan, 8th for Arthur, and 9th and 10th for the 2 Alfa Romeos, Chris and Matt. So I'm going to see if I can maybe talk to Callum and see if he is up for a chat. He said he would be if he gets knocked out of qualifying. Let's see if he is still up for that. So straight into Q2, 15 minutes in this session, and this time we are looking for the top 10 to go into the pole position shootout. And the other thing with this qualifying session, if you make it through to top 10, the set of tyres that you set your fastest lap on, they are the tyres that you will start the race on. So you sometimes see some different strategies going on here, and yes, look, they're all going straight out of the pits this time. And it looks like Jamie is going on the mediums, likewise Anthony Bauer, and likewise Scott Larvin in the Toro Rosso. So already we're seeing a few different strategies going on there. At least 3 going on to the medium tyres. Callum appears to be with us. Callum. Well, a bit of contact with your teammate at the end there. That must have been a bit of a surprise. Did you feel you had the pace? You weren't far off the top of the thing. You feel you had the pace to get into Q2. So you're going to be starting 16th. What are you hoping from there? Top 10? But with a full wet race, it's be really down there. It'll be just a question of keeping out of trouble, really, won't it?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Did you include your audio in the... Okay, I'll have to have a look then at the settings on that. Okay. I'm just going to very, very quickly, sorry to everyone, just have a quick look at the settings. Right, yes, it was my fault. If we can get Callum back. But anyway, we're into Q2 now. We've seen a few cars go out on the medium tyres. We've only got 2 cars left in the pits, and that's, well, actually 1 now, and that's Sam in the McLaren. So as Arthur Bowler goes fastest, and Jamie goes second, and up into third goes Matt. Yes, Callum, it was my fault. I do apologise. I had the settings wrong on the Twitch, so everyone should now be able to hear you. So yes, very, very quick. Let's go back over what I asked you before. Bit of contact with your teammate there. That must have come as a bit of a surprise.
I'm not sure, really. To be honest, I'm not sure whether I was sort of expecting it after the history, but I don't know. It could have been accidental.
Yeah, I mean, from what I could see, it was a bit of just a misunderstanding, and he went right at the same time you did. And so you'd be starting 16th. Did you feel you had the pace to get into Q2? I know you were saying about the wet setup before.
Yeah, I definitely think I had the pace. I had a wet setup for the first run. For the second run, I changed my front wing. I'd lowered it probably 2-3 ticks, so I would have gained sort of 3-4 tenths over the straights. So yeah, I would have easily got through it.
And for the race, you're starting 16th. We know it's going to be a wet race. It's just in case of keeping out of trouble there, really, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think first corner it was just a case that I just need to sort of sit back and let the carnage unfold, and then just try and sort of pick my way through. Down one, no issues, and then yeah, be looking just to pick people off as the race goes on.
So very quickly, a top 10, do you think?
I think it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. It's one of those races where it's hard enough in the drive to keep it in line and turn one constantly for the whole race. So it's definitely going to be interesting. So I reckon there'll be quite a few as hard as tonight.
So do I, to be honest. I'm not at all surprised me to see a safety car as well. But unlucky, Callum, and all the best for the race, mate. And I hope to talk to you at the end.
Nice one, cheers, buddy.
No worries. So, meantime, fastest has gone Patrick in the Renault. That's an excellent lap time from him on 12.1. Stephen is second. Arthur Bowler is third. We've got Ant Waddington's gone fourth. And Jamie Callan in the Red Bull has just moved up to fifth. In sixth position, we've got Chris Harley. Seventh is Anthony Bauer, but he's on the medium tyres. Dean is eighth in the Mercedes. A bit of a surprise that, because he is on the soft tyres in that Mercedes. We've got Jamie Keats in ninth. Now, he did go out on a set of mediums, and he's decided to abandon that idea and go out on a set of softs. Ollie is 10th in the second racing point. In 11th position, we have Matt. Alfa Romeo on 13.1. Then we've got Scott Love in 12th. 13th, and obviously made a mistake somewhere, is Justin Hyam in the McLaren. We've got Sam and Dan still yet to set a lap time. Dan abandoned his lap. He has now gone back out. A yellow flag in sector 3. Not quite sure why that is there. I can't see. It's saying yellow flag in sector 3. Stephen has, as Dean goes fastest, just saying about how much he was a bit of a surprise how far down he is. He's just gone fastest on his third lap on those tyres as well. That's an excellent effort from him. The 1:11.6. Here is Jamie Haas. He's currently 9th position, but a 10th and a half down in his first sector. So let's see what he can do. He'll definitely be looking to improve on his current 9th. As Dan Blackwell in the Red Bull has also gone out now. So just waiting for Sam to head out onto the track. So Patrick and Stephen both feel quite happy with their laps, their second and third. And Jamie's given up on this lap. And he's let past Ollie, who's on his out lap. There is Matt in the Alfa Romeo, also on his out lap. Is anyone on a lap right now? Yes, here is Dan Blackwell, second in the championship, Dan. But we heard earlier, we're expecting Red Bull to struggle a little bit with that Honda engine, not quite being up to the same power of the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Not far behind now, but not quite there. And with those long straights in the first and second part of the lap, the big acceleration zones, you can definitely see the Honda's not quite being as strong here as at some racetracks. Still very good in the final sector. So let's see what he's doing. Not a bad lap though at the moment, 50.1 in the middle sector. So still on for a good lap. Stand now through this final sector, flat out through the chicane. Into the last couple of corners, a little bit wide there. You get away with that in the dry, you won't want to do that in the wet. And Dan crosses the line and he goes 6th on a 1:12.4, fractionally quicker than his teammate. And a fraction behind Ant Waddington, who's also now gone out on track. Here is Ollie. He's a 10th and a half up. That will move him into the top 10. I might just displace Anthony Bauer as well, who's gone out. But everyone who did go on the medium tyres for their first runs, they've abandoned it and gone onto the soft tyres. As Anthony Bauer goes seconds, having just done that at 1:11.8. Ollie moves up to 10th. So just inside the top 10 at the moment. The bottom 5 is Jamie Keats, Matt Goodyear, Scott Larvin, Justin Hyam and Sam Congreve. Sam has yet to sell a lap and isn't out on track at the moment. I think he's having some technical issues with Sam. But here is Scott back out on track, and there is Justin Hyam also out on track. So all of the bottom 5 at the moment are out on track. We've got 5 minutes of the session to go. Dean fastest on a 1:11.6, nearly 2 tenths quicker than Anthony Bauer, so could be a brilliant race. But as Callum said, we expect a lot of crashes and spins here. It's a difficult track in the rain. It's an old style racetrack as well, so it's very narrow in a lot of places. Long, big runoff areas, but the walls are never too far away, so expect some big crashes later on, and possibly even a safety car or two, who knows. So here is Justin Hyam, standing in for Gregor Telford here this weekend, and let's see how he's getting on. He's 14th at the moment, and he's about 3rd and 2nd down in the first sector, so we're not too happy with that. Not too many changes they can do now to the setup, of course. We're under park Ferme conditions, so they can't change too much. Just a little bit of front wing, fuel load, of course, and a couple of other very minor changes, but the main setup should be done by now. So he must have made a mistake somewhere in that first sector. So he gets on in sector 2 through turns 9 and 10. Pretty much flat there and kept it, didn't hardly even touch the curb there. So he's down a little bit more on his own that time. So not the best of efforts here, which is under 4 minutes to go. So he may have enough time to just dive in and put another set of tyres on. Let's see how Jamie's doing. Jamie's 2 tenths up on his previous best in the middle sector, so that would move him. That could move him up to 9th. He's 12th at the moment. That could move him into 9th place. That's how close it is in that midfield pack. Less than 2 tenths separating. And Jamie does go 9th. A fraction off of Jamie Callum, who's just coming back out on track. So that's a good effort from him, but there is less than a tenth of a second covering 10th and 12th here. It's very, very tight, and less than half a tenth to covering 7th and 9th. So it's very, very close in this midfield. I said look out for the midfield battle. Arthur Bowler's done a good job up there in 5th for Racing Point. Likewise Patrick as well in the Renault up in 3rd place. As Scott Hyam, Sam is now finally leaving the pits with just under 3 minutes to go. So putting himself under a little bit of pressure here. He's going to have at most 2 laps here to sell a lap time. So a little bit of pressure. Ollie's still out there. He's a fraction up in the first sector, but I think his tyres are well past their best at the moment. Let's see how he can do. We'll be looking at his teammate balls up there in 5th place, and that will be the lap time he's aiming for. He's 0.8 of a second slower than his teammate at the moment. So that is what he'll be aiming for. Let's see how he can do into the last couple of corners. And I said it earlier, that Racing Point really does seem to be set up very, very well, and he doesn't improve. He remains 12th, and the thing is now he is committed to this. There's not enough time for him to come in and put another set of tyres on. We're down to the last minute and a half. We've still got, in the bottom 5, we've still got Matt, Ollie, Scott Garvin, Justin Hyam and Sam. So both McLarens. Here's Sam. Let's see how he can do. It's going to be potentially just 2 laps here for Sam. But good, not bad first sector. And there is a Racing Point going slowly. I think Ollie... Yes, Ollie, I think, is out of fuel. So he looks like he will be out of qualifying. Jamie Callan, meanwhile, has gone up to 4th on a 1:12.1. It's incredibly close there. 13 thousandths of a second separating 3rd and 5th. And less than half a tenth behind 6th place Arthur Bowler. It's very, very tight in the top half of the top 10. And here comes Sam. Good middle sector. This might put him around Jamie and Matt for 9th and 10th place. He could be knocking on the door of Q3 here for Sam. I think that's an Alfa Romeo, just saw him coming in time. So let's have a look. Sam goes across the line and he goes 13th on a 13.3. The other McLaren is not going to get out of the session, so Justin is going to stay in 15th position. And let's have a look. Here's Scott Larvin. This is his last chance as well. He's 14th at the moment and he's backed out of the lap. So he's not going to improve either. As there's an Alfa Romeo. It's Chris Harley. So we've got our bottom 2. It's now down to the others. Let's have a look. Chris Harley, I think, has also backed out of this. Yes, he has. So he's currently 10th. Can he be knocked out by his own teammate? Here comes Matt Goodyear in the other Alfa Romeo. He's 11th at the moment. Ollie also has given up. He's 12th at the moment, so he is not going to be improving. What about Sam? No, he's not quick enough. So it's only Matt Goodyear in the Alfa Romeo. He could knock out his own teammate into Q3. Let's have a look. Line, and he does. What a lap to do that right at the end there to go up to 10th position. Great lap from him. So there we have it. There we have our top 10 for the shootout. They will be Dean in the Mercedes, Anthony Bowers, Ferrari, Patrick in the Renault, doing a fine job there in that Renault. Jamie Callan for Red Bull, Stephen in the Ferrari, Arthur Bowler in the Racing Point, Ant Waddington in the second Mercedes, Dan Blackwell in the second Red Bull, Jamie Keats in the Haas, and last but not least Matt Goodyear in the Alfa Romeo. The 5 cars knocked out in Q2 then. Chris Harley for Alfa Romeo, Ollie in the Racing Point, Sam in the McLaren, Scott in the Toro Rosso and Justin in the second McLaren. So, the other point to that as well, of course, is that usually they would start the tyres, the top 10 would start on the tyres they set their quickest lap on here. But if it is a fully wet race, which is what it's forecast, that goes out of the window. They'll all be starting on at least the intermediates, if not the full wets. So just waiting now for Q3. We've got a couple of minutes break. Q3, you've got 12 minutes. So 2 runs is the norm. You might just squeeze in a third run as well here. So who is going to take pole position could be vital tomorrow if it is a fully wet race. Being out front away from all the spray could be absolutely vital, especially at the start of the race tomorrow. So they're all starting to stream out. 12 minutes, like I said. We've got a Renault going out first. That's Patrick, followed by Anthony Bauer, and also Arthur Bowler actually has got out ahead of the lot of them. So Arthur very keen to get out. Good Q2 from him, 5th position. So he'll be looking to repeat something like that as well. Arthur Bowler at the moment is 7th in the championship. He too's had a very good championship so far. 105 points, racing point, are in that quite intense battle for 4th with Haas and Renault. They're 5th at the moment. So it could be crucial. They're 6 points behind Haas and 6 points ahead of Renault. So it's very, very tight in the battle for 4th in the Constructors' Championship. So it will be interesting to see how many drivers have actually set up their cars for the rain. We heard Callum has got a wet setup on. Let's see how many of the others have done the same thing, because that could be crucial for the race. Having a full wet setup, especially if it is wet through the whole race. That could be so crucial. 4 cars have decided to stay in, but here comes Arthur Bowler. Second across the line will be Anthony Bauer, and then I think Patrick will follow. No, it's actually Jamie. So I don't know if maybe Patrick made a mistake somewhere. So he fell quite a long way back in the end. So Arthur Bowler here in the racing point, down to the hairpin, gets it turned in nicely. That racing point, both racing points, I've said it before and I'll say it again, both racing points look very, very well set up. Good front end to that car, looks to be turning in very, very nicely. And seems to be quite stable at the back, accelerating quite well, and that can be crucial for the race. As I say that, he runs wide, but overall, the car looks very, very well balanced, and that could be crucial in the race if it is pouring with rain. Try and stay on the racetrack. But this lap has been disallowed. He ran a bit too wide in that corner coming into the stadium section, so Anthony Bauer will be the first one to set a lap time. And Arthur aborted the lap anyway. Oh, Anthony Bauer very, very wide. He goes fastest on a 1:11.9. Almost completely lost it. Here comes Jamie. He does a 12.3. And Patrick's abandoned this lap as well. So here comes the second Ferrari, championship leader here. And he goes second. So at the moment it's a Ferrari 1-2. Next through will be Jamie Callan. And, well, I thought it was gone for mediums there for a second. But Jamie Callan in the Red Bull. And he's abandoned the lap as well. He too has had the lap disallowed. So the next one on a lap is Dean in the Mercedes. And quite a leisurely first. And he's had his lap disallowed as well. So drivers pushing very, very hard here, and they're just breaking a few of the track limits in their pursuit of those extra few thousandths of a second. Easy done round here, of course. turn 1, especially with the tarmac runoff area, it's very, very easy to just run the fraction wide and you end up disallowing your lap time. So we've only got 3 cars that have actually set a lap so far. Patrick's on a lap as we speak, but it's Ferrari 1-2 with Jamie Keats 3rd for Haas at the moment. So that, at the moment, are the only cars to set a lap. Patrick, like I said, is coming through to complete his lap now, and this lap so far has gone through without incident, so it should be a fully allowed lap here for Patrick. And he goes 3rd, a 1:12.2. Good effort from him, beating the Haas. We know that Renault's probably got the lowest amount of power. So that's a very good effort from him. Dean did have his lap disallowed, trying again. Dan as well has now started his flying lap. Arthur Bowler's coming out again. We're still waiting for Ant Waddington and Matt Goodyear to come out of the pits. Jamie Callan's come back to the pit lane after his first lap was disallowed. So here is Dean through turn 8. Turn 9 and 10 sounded completely flat to me in there. And an excellent middle sector. He's gone purple in the middle sector. He's run wide. He's lost it. He's lost it. Oh, it's such a good middle sector as well. I think Dean's going to have to pit now and put on another set of tyres. He's run that a little bit too wide. Caught a bit of gravel on the exit of the corner. And he was lucky there. Very well held because he nearly ended up in the wall. So very, very well done there to not hit the wall. So here is Dan now in the final sector, coming through to complete his first flying lap of Q3. Let's see how he can do around the final corner. He'll be looking to try and get somewhere near the Ferraris. And he goes 5th, a 1:12.3 behind the Haas and the Renault. Jamie has improved on his lap and he's gone up to 3rd place as Jamie Keats. So not that far behind the works Ferraris, which will please him. Here is Arthur Bowler, not on a bad lap either. Absolutely perfect in that corner coming into the stadium. Through the Sats curve again. Very, very well placed. Car looking good. Again using a lot of curb on the exit of this second to last corner. And very wide in the final corner. He'll get away with that and he goes 6th. On a 1:12.6. Here is Ant Waddington, the other Mercedes. And he has also had his lap disallowed. So, like I said before, the driver's really pushing hard. And it's not quite working for him. Here is Jamie Callan. He has survived the first corner this time. As Dean exits the pits. And Matt Goodyear is also out. And Anthony Bauer, current pole sitter, has also come out of the pits. And so is Patrick in the Renault as well, currently 4th place. Grid at the moment, it's an all-Ferrari front row. Anthony Bauer ahead of Steve Harrison. Jamie Keats is 3rd, Patrick is 4th. Then we've got Dan and Arthur Bowler on row 3. No one else has set a valid lap time yet. Here is Jamie Callan. He'll be certainly aiming for his teammate, but he'll be hoping to break into the second row. Very good middle sector from Jamie. A little bit off in the first sector because the power from that Honda will do that. There's a Ferrari practically stopped out on the track, trying to let cars through. But here comes Jamie Callan coming through the last corner. And he goes 3rd. He'll be pleased with that. Fraction off of Stephen. And he's on to the second row of the grid. So very good lap there from Jamie Callan to move up into 3rd place. Here is Matt Goodyear about to start his lap. Likewise, Anthony Bauer ahead of him, who's on provisional pole. And, well, this lap's been disallowed. I wonder why I didn't have his DRS open. Here is Anthony Bauer. He's a fraction up in the first sector. We saw lap times 1:11.6 in Q2. That's the kind of time they'll be aiming for. Bit of slow traffic at the hairpin. Hopefully won't get in Anthony's way here as he comes round that very slow hairpin. double back on yourself through the right-hander. That's a Red Bull keeping nicely out of the way. Didn't affect him at all there. So this could be a chance here for Anthony Bauer to bring himself back toward the World Championship contender. He's 43 points behind his teammate at the moment. This is quite a crucial race for him really. He needs to start bringing some points back to keep himself in this championship hunt. And let's have a look. As Dean goes into pole, 1:11.3. That's an excellent lap time from Dean. Anthony Bauer improves, but it's not enough. He improves by 3/10, but he remains second. So Dean, what a lap he pulled out of the bag there to go provisional fastest. 2 minutes to go, a 1:11.3. Stephen is now out on track as well in the second Ferrari. And Patrick goes third. What a lap time from the Renault. Patrick, 1:11.6, only 0.08 of a second slower than Anthony Bauer in the Ferrari. But Patrick in the Renault goes third. Excellent lap time from him. So, who else is on lap? Here is Jamie. He's not quick enough at the moment. He's not improving. He might have enough fuel to do one more lap. Yes, he's actually disallowed. So, Ant Waddington's on his out lap. Here is Matt Goodyear on his flying lap. Grid at the moment. Dean from Anthony Bauer, Patrick an excellent third, and this is disallowed for Matt as well. But what a lap time there by Patrick in the Renault. Can't get over that lap time. The Renault, we know it's down on power, but he's got it up into third place, well ahead of the two McLarens, who use the same engine, of course. The McLarens are down in 13th and 15th on the grid, so the third place for Patrick at the moment. That's a very, very good effort, and this lap's been disallowed for Stevens, so he's not going to improve on his current fourth place. And Jamie Callan's gone back out, but I don't think he can have enough time to do another lap. Let's see who else is on a lap here. Here is Dan in the Red Bull. He's a fraction up in the first sector. How is he in the middle sector? He's about a 10th and a half down. He's going to have to do a good final sector. Can he do it? Arthur Bowler, no, he's abandoned the lap. Arthur Bowler's just got across the line to start his final lap of qualifying. The session's now over, and Ant Waddington didn't improve. He was 1,000th off, so he fails to improve. Here comes Matt Goodyear in the Alfa Romeo. He's on a lap as well. Can he get himself off of 10th place? He's not on a bad lap, I have to say. A little bit wide there, but he'll get away with that into the Sachs curve. Again, not quite on the apex, but the banking there really does help you into the last couple of corners. The Alfa Romeo here, Matt Goodyear goes across the line and he remains in 10th place. He does not improve. Arthur Bowler is next up. Well, I think we've got our front few rows sorted. What can Arthur Bowler do in this racing point? He's ninth at the moment. What about Jamie? Jamie's coming across the line and he remains sixth. Didn't improve, so it's now all on Arthur Bowler as he comes through the final corner. Can he improve? Yes, he does. He goes up to 8th. So good effort there. Not down. Waddington down to row 5. So good effort again from that racing point. Look at that. Dean on pole position from Anthony Bauer in second. So it's Mercedes from Ferrari. Patrick a superb third for Renault. Fourth for Stephen in the second Ferrari. Jamie Callan 5th for Red Bull. 6th for Jamie Keats in the Haas. 7th for Dan in the second Red Bull. 8th for Arthur in the racing point. Ant Waddington will be disappointed. 9th on the grid, over a second slower than his teammate. And 10th, Matt Goodyear. Good effort to get into Q3. We heard from their manager JBL earlier saying we expected the Alfa Romeo to be a little bit stronger here using that Ferrari engine, so he'll be delighted to get into Q3. And now we have a little bit of a break for the race. I will join you again in a couple of minutes' time. So, good evening and welcome to the race. Thank you so much for joining me. It is a wet race as predicted, and the rain is absolutely hammering down out there. You join me here, though, at Germany. Germany's got a long history in Formula 1. First on the calendar back in 1951. It's only missed a few years since then. Future on the calendar's looking grim, unfortunately. It's only ever been held at 3 different venues. Avis originally, which was basically 2 motorways connected by 2 high-speed bank curves. Then we had the original Nürburgring circuit and the new Nürburgring, and of course Hockenheim. Again, 2 incarnations of that track as well. 53 drivers in the history of Formula 1 have come from Germany. 7 of those have won races. And of course, Michael Schumacher is the greatest driver statistically in Formula 1 history. The other drivers, German drivers to win races, we had Wolfgang von Tritz back in the 60s, Jochen Mass in the 70s, and then of course we had Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Ralf Schumacher, Michael's brother, and Nico Rosberg. 3 of those have won world championships. Of course, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, and Nico Rosberg. And amazingly, over the last 25 years, 12 of those drivers' championships have been won by Germans. 7 to Schumacher, 4 to Vettel, and 1 to Rosberg. Back to the track itself, it used to be a monster of a track, over 4 miles, racing through dense pine forest, but it was re-profiled in 2002, and it's now just under 3 miles long, just over 4.5 kilometres. It's got 17 turns, 8 to the right and 9 to the left. Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton are the most successful drivers in history here. They've taken 4 wins, and Ferrari are the most successful team here with 22 wins. 67 laps. It's quite a long race. The lap record, well, I would say look out for the lap record, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere near it. But it is a 1:13.780 by Kimi Räikkönen back in 2004. And we've had some incredible wet races here. The one that sticks in my head was back on the old track, but Rubens Barrichello won from 18th on the grid back in the year 2000, when, of course, we had a track invader as well at the side of the track back in the days when through the forest it was a lot easier for the public to get access to the track. Just to run through the grid for you once again before the race starts. An excellent lap from Dean Barry in the Mercedes sees him take pole position. Anthony Bauer alongside him in the Ferrari. Patrick also a brilliant lap. Star of qualifying for me in the Renault to come on the second row in third place. Stephen in the second Ferrari starts fourth. Then it's Jamie Callan in the Red Bull fifth. Jamie Keats alongside him. So we've got two Jamies on row three. Dan is seventh in the second Red Bull. Eighth, Arthur Bowler in the Racing Point. Ninth for Ant Waddington. Again, like I said in qualifying, probably a little bit disappointed with that. He'll be hoping for better in the race in the Mercedes. And 10th for Matt Goodyear. 11th for Chris Harley in the Alfa Romeo. So the two Alfa Romeos start together. 12th, Ollie in the second Racing Point. Might be a little bit disappointed with that, looking at where his teammate is. 13th for Sam in the first of the McLarens. 14th for Scott Larvin in the second Toro Rosso. 15th for Justin. Then we have the two Williams pairing. Look out for them. Came together in qualifying. Let's see what happens in the race. 16th and 17th. Callum out qualifying Andrew. Gareth 18th for Haas. And then 19th and 20th are two cars who had qualifying bans, who didn't take part in qualifying. Joe Newman and Matt Anderson. Joe Newman, of course, in the Toro Rosso, and Matt Anderson in the second Renault. So it's going to be a brilliant race. Wet races always very, very exciting. Drivers are starting to ready up now, so it will only be a matter of time before this race is underway. Of course, any team strategies that they had in the build-up to this race have all gone out the window because the rain, as I said, is absolutely pouring down and it doesn't look as if it's going to improve. The 5 lights are coming. Sorry, it's the formation lap. So, and they're all starting on the full wet tyre. I think that's the only sensible option here. Now, these full wets, I mean, if you're a careful driver, you can go a long, long way into the race. We've seen Callum Harrod before go an exceptionally long way on one set of tyres. So look out for him in the Williams back there in 16th place. These wet tyres are very, very durable. So they will probably be going quite a long way, I would have thought. The quickest way is probably to stop in the middle of the race, but of course it does depend on the weather conditions. And as well, sometimes with these wet tyres, they can actually get a little bit quicker as the tread wears down. When they're shining new out of the moulds, they can just take a few laps to warm up. So sometimes when they're a little bit older, you've still got the tread block moving around, still generating the heat. Sometimes they can just get a little bit quicker as they get a little bit older. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a very interesting race. Dean, of course, in the enviable position of being right at the front. Look out for the spray. I think there's going to be a lot of action, certainly into the first couple of corners, because there is so much spray here in these conditions. There is that famous drag racing strip we saw in the race this year. So many drivers go off there and struggle. It doesn't look too bad there at the moment. Look at this, the top two on the grid very, very early compared to the others, but they're all starting to line up now. 67 lap race. We've got Mercedes on the right, Ferrari on the left, row 2, Renault and Ferrari. First of the Red Bulls in 5th with Jamie in 6th. Look out for him. I think he could be a bit of a dark horse as well, as could Patrick, I think, in the Renault, as one of the McLarens comes into line. So they're all in line. And here we go. 5 lights are coming on. They're all on now. Lights out. Away we go. One of the McLarens is straight off. But look at that. And then Anthony Bauer getting up alongside. And Anthony takes the lead. And there's a Red Bull going around the outside of the other Ferrari. Great start from Jamie Cannon to move up into 4th place. Anthony Waddington's not had a great start. But Dean trying to come back at Anthony Bauer, but backs out. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. Jamie's out of the race. Jamie has retired from the race. There's a Red Bull in there as well. Jamie Keys has retired from the race. I think there was contact with a Red Bull down there as well. Joe Newman's had quite a good start as well. But Jamie Keys becomes our first retirement of the race. Can you believe it, in the Haas? He qualified so well. And the safety car has been deployed. I think that's the only sensible thing to do there. But what a start for Anthony Bauer. On the dirty side of the grid, he managed to take the lead. And there's a little bit of carnage behind. I'm sure there was a Red Bull. It might have been Dan, because he dropped back quite a bit in 11th place. Now, try and see if there's any damage on that Red Bull. Yes, there is. His front wing, the right-hand side of his front wing has gone. So I think he's going to have to stop in these conditions. But a safety car, I said look out for a safety car. It has been deployed here. So they all need to run at a certain speed and then form up behind the safety car, which is waiting for them. Just after turn 4. So let's have a look, see if anyone else has to pit. But I'm pretty sure Jamie Keats connected with Dan Blackwell. So the nearest challenger to Stephen in the World Championship is down in 11th place, and Arthur Bowler's pitting as well. So is there damage to that racing point? I think he might have possibly got caught up in that as well. So he pits, so does Dan. So they are the only 2 pitting at the moment. So the race order behind the safety car is Anthony Bauer from Dean Barry. Patrick's held on to 3rd place. Jamie Callan is up to 4th from 5th on the grid. 6th and 7th, look at that, the 2 Alfa Romeos. Chris Harley from 11th on the grid is up to 6th. Matt Goody is up to 7th, and Waddington is 8th. Ollie is 9th, and in 10th place is the McLaren of Justin. He started 15th on the grid, and he's up into the top 10 now. Scott Larvin is 11th. He's up 3 places as well. Joe Newman 12th. He's had a great start from 19th on the grid up to 12th. The 2 Williams are 13th and 14th. Cam's only going to try and keep out of trouble, and it looks as if he has. Matt Anderson up to 15th. Gareth is 16th, which is 2 places up. And then we've got Arthur Bowler and Dan Blackwell. They are 17th and 18th. 2 retirements already. Jamie Keats in the Haas and the McLaren of Sam Congreve. Those 2 are out of the race. So, well, I said look out for accidents the first couple of corners. Turn 1, they're all very well behaved. But I'm pretty sure there was contact between Dan and Jamie, and I think Arthur was doing some bits with that. 3 pit stopping away for those 2. And of course, in these conditions, they can have a hell of a lot of spray to deal with. Right at the back of the grid, the field spread. When the safety car comes in, there's going to be such a massive field spread. Because of these conditions, everyone's going to be trying to look for a little bit of a gap. So, let's see how they got on now. Tucked up behind the safety car. It's also good in another way. It's enabled a little bit of a racing line to appear. So even though it is very, very wet, you have just got a little bit where it's not as wet. You have a little bit more grip. As Callum has also pitted. So Callum was up to 13th. He's now dropped to the back of the field. So 18 still left. So, well, remember what I said about Callum, he can go a very long way on a set of tyres. Could he be looking at maybe just making that one pit stop and going to the end? Who knows? So I'm not sure. A safety car should, I would think, be coming in at the end of this lap. Shouldn't stay out for too long, maybe. Yes, safety car is in this lap. They managed to clear away the Haas and the McLaren and any other bits of carbon fibre on the racetrack. So let's see what happens here. Can Dean get the jump? He now effectively becomes the safety car. He'll slow the pack up, wait for the safety car to pit, and then wait for the opportune moment to drop the clutch and go. They come crawling round the last couple of corners, and now he's going for it. There's a very good restart. Very good restart. Caught the others napping a little bit there. Dean's a little bit behind. Patrick too, but Anthony Bauer with a good result. Patrick a little bit wide in turn one. That could leave him under pressure to Jamie Callan right behind him. Jamie's having a little look up the inside, but not quite enough confidence yet, as Stephen is there as well. And there's some what's going on behind. Yes, there's two Alfa Romeos. There's another. Let's have a look. Oh yes, Ollie ran a little bit wide, and now Waddington's pounced, taking 8th position. So looking ready at the gaps, and here comes Ollie coming back at Waddington as Jamie Callan is going past Stephen. No, Stephen and Jamie Callan are very close together. Stephen trying to go around down the inside. Jamie Callan seems to be hanging on to him through turn 7. That's going to be great to hang on there. And yeah, Stephen backs out of it, but can he have it go into turn 8? Not quite close enough. Dan and Gareth also very close together down near the back of the field. But Jamie Callan was pressuring Patrick ahead of him, and now he's under pressure from the Ferrari. Look at two Alfa Romeos hanging on nicely in 6th and 7th position. Ollie didn't quite make it past, and Waddington and defended his position very, very well. So he's still in 8th places, and so gained 1 from the start of the race. And Jamie really struggling in this first lap, isn't he? He's really holding up. Look at Patrick there, holding in on Dean ahead of him. So Anthony Bowers, that's fastest lap of the race. He's now got a 1 second lead over Dean, with Patrick pushing him hard. In 3rd place, and here is Jamie again, with Stephen having a little look at him. This is the battle for 4th place as Jamie runs very, very wide in turn 2. It's so difficult to get your braking right here in the first couple of laps. And Stephen's had a very good run. And he's passed it already. And so much more traction out of that corner. Jamie's going to try and brave it out round the outside. He held on to position on the last lap by doing that, but this time Stephen parked it on the apex nicely and maintains the place. So Stephen up into 4th, Jamie Callan 5th, hoping to help out his teammate a little bit there. He does seem to be struggling a little bit in these first couple of laps, as there's an Alfa Romeo running off in the background. I think that was Matt Goodyear, who now has Ant Waddington for company as well. This is the battle for 7th place. Meanwhile, look at Patrick here. What a performance he's putting in already. He's maintained his 3rd position, managed to keep it after the safety car, and now he's put in 2nd place Dean Barry under pressure. So this is an excellent race as Dean runs a little bit wide. There's a yellow flag. There's a McLaren. I think, yes, that's Justin Hyam has spun off at the back. So that's a shame for him. He was running quite well, but he's now dropped to back and field with a bit of front wing damage. Don't know if he connected with anyone. Meanwhile as well, there is Callum. He's moved up a couple of places as well. He's up into 16th position. So we saw him picked quite early on, but this is back to the battle for 2nd. Dean just a few tenths of a second in front of Patrick, who seems to have good straight line speed in that Renault. Even in the rain, he's having a little look up the inside. Is Dean going to see him coming? He gives him the space. This is brave by Patrick, and what a move. Patrick moves into 2nd place in the Renault. Does he have the traction on the exit? Yes, he does. Stunning move by Patrick in the Renault to move into second place. Has Dean got an answer for him? No, he doesn't. So, this will be interesting now to see what pace does that Renault have. Because he's just over 2 seconds behind Anthony Bauer. And, well, he's taken second place away from, there's another yellow flag. I think that McLaren's off again. Yes, it is. He didn't pit at the end of the last lap, so yeah, there is a bit of front wing damage. I think he's going to struggle with that. But Patrick is pulling away already from Dean. So what a performance in these first few laps here. Anthony Bauer leads by 2.5 seconds from Patrick. We've got Dean in third place, with Stephen now closing up a little bit behind him in fourth. It has all settled down a little bit. And Waddington has got past Matt Goodyear as well, up into 7th place. As there's a bit of a battle developing here in the bottom end of the top 10, which is going to find, now there it is, Matt Goodyear, Ollie in the Racing Point, and Joe Larvin in the Toro Rosso. His teammate at the back is up to 11th, isn't that far behind, but he has Arthur Bowler for company. Of course, Arthur coming back through the field as well after the first lap damage he sustained, and Joe keeping the inside nicely. Can Arthur get the cut back on him? He has. Who's going to have the better traction? Because Arthur just offline, so he's in the standing water a little bit. Ooh, that was very close. Very close to a bit of contact there, but well done, the pair of them. And Arthur tried to go up the inside, backed out of it at the last second. Joe didn't see him coming. I think they wouldn't have been expecting him to come through there either. So well done, the pair of them. Gareth gets a penalty. I think running wide, we may see a lot of penalties here in this race. It's so difficult to stay on the racetrack. Just push it a little bit too hard and you end up flying off the track. Anthony Bauer though, telling fastest lap after fastest lap. His lead is now up to 3 seconds from Patrick, who's now a second pretty much clear of Dean. Dean, I think soon is going to be more interested in Stephen behind him, and there is Ant Waddington running very wide. He's soon going to be more interested in what's going on behind him, because Stephen's closing the gap, and actually Jamie Cannon's hanging on quite well as well in 5th position. And there we see him again. That is Arthur and Joe Newman, and look at Matt Anderson right behind them as well. So this could be an interesting three-way fight. Matt's actually got quite a good run here on the Racing Point. Don't think it's going to be quite close enough. Is Arthur going to go for it down the inside of the head? And I think he is. Joe Newman just about cuts in front of him. Somehow these two still haven't connected, and this time Matt Anderson has got a good run coming out of the hairpin. Can he get close enough down into turn 8? Well, Arthur throwing that Racing Point around, trying to pressure Joe ahead, but also try and keep Matt behind him. This is the battle for 11th place. Of course, Arthur out of position after the first lap accident with Jamie and Dan. Dan's only up to 15th position. He's not getting through the field quite as well. He's up behind Andrew at the moment in the Williams, who is 14th. So they're about 3 seconds down the road from this battle. As Stephen gets a penalty as well. He is now very close to the back of Dean. Gets the battle for 3rd place. As Dan pits again. Was there a bit more damage? Yes, he's got damage to his front wing, so he must have connected with someone. So Callum moves up another place. And this is the battle for 3rd. Look at Patrick. He's doing such a brilliant job, isn't he? He's just about pegging the Ferrari ahead of him as well. He lost a couple of tenths in that lap. We're on lap 9 of the race already. Anthony leads by 3.2 seconds from Patrick. As Arthur and Joe again look very, very close together, and I think Joe's again hanging on. That's for 11th place. Has Arthur got it this time? Let's have it. Yes, he has. He's got the undercut done very nicely, and Arthur Bowler is through and into 11th place. Can he now close up on Joe's teammate Scott Larvin there in the last, or in 10th place? This is Matt Goodyear with Ollie right behind him. This is the battle for 8 Alfa Romeo against Racing Point. But this is the main battle as Anthony Bauer pulls out another good lap and pulls out to 4 seconds now in the lead, 128.3. So look at this, Dean in the Mercedes with Stephen right behind him. This is for 3rd and 4th place. Meanwhile, Patrick is 2 seconds up the road now, having a brilliant start to this race. Is Patrick in the Renault. Could be crucial as well for Renault in the Constructors' Championship as well, because as it stands, with him gaining 18 points, that could see them with Racing Point and Haas not having good races at the moment. That could see Renault jump from 6th to 4th in the Constructors and be knocking on the door of Mercedes, although Mercedes are having quite a good race at the moment, 3rd and 7th. So Anthony Bauer leads by 4 seconds from Patrick. As I said in qualifying, quite a crucial race here for Anthony. He's got to start closing down that 43-point gap in the World Championship to his teammate, or else he could be seen or asked to back up his teammate, play second fiddle and support his teammate through the rest of the championship. So he's got to start closing that gap down, and at the moment this is absolutely perfect for him, with Stephen down in 4th place, gaining 17 points, and him up in 1st with the fastest lap as well. So he'll be closing, at the moment as it stands, he'll be closing 9 points. As things stand, Patrick having another good lap, now well over 2 seconds clear of this battle that we're watching. The only other close battle out on track is Arthur Bowler's just got ahead of Joe Larvin, but the other close battle out on track we've got Matt Goodyear with Ollie closing up behind him. Ollie's just fallen back a little bit, and then we've got quite a big battle between the 2 Toro Rossos and Matt Anderson's Renault, and Dean has run wide and Stephen thought about it but not quite close enough. Of course, these two battling is perfect for Patrick ahead of him, because that is enabling him to pull away. There is the Renault. Still can't get over the Renault, up in 2nd place, but what a race he's having so far. 3rd on the grid, he's got the pace, and Stephen really trying to distract Dean here, diving out left, right and centre, trying to distract that Mercedes, but at the moment Dean's holding firm in 3rd place. Of course, he started on pole position, did Dean, but maybe these wet conditions aren't quite suiting him. I think the other interesting battle we could maybe focus on in a little while if it gets much closer is the 2 Williams, 14th and 15th. We saw the incident between them in qualifying, and they are line astern on the track pretty much now, just over a second between them, as once again the 2 Toro Rossos get very, very close as well, and they still have Matt Anderson to company as well. That's 11th, 12th and 13th. So let's have a look. Is Stephen going to close this time to have a look at Dean down as the hairpin? I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. We know that Ferrari's good in a straight line. Patrick has a little bit of a wobble into the hairpin, but nothing too much to worry about. He is now over 3 seconds clear, and he's still pegging the leader as well. He's still coming on, still under 5 seconds off the lead. And, well, fastest lap for Dan there now in 17th position, as Ollie gets past Matt Goodyear in the Racing Point. So up into 8th position. And Waddington's not really going anywhere though. He's now 6.5 seconds behind the other Alfa Romeo, having a brilliant race as well, is Chris Harley up in 6th position. And at the moment lapping quicker than the Mercedes behind him. So Waddington not coming through the field as quite as I expected. Again, maybe the 2 Mercedes haven't gone for a wet setup here and hope that their normal setups will be enough. Anthony Bauer sets another fastest lap, 1:27.7, and when you look at it, that's a 1.5 seconds quicker than these 2 are going here. So Anthony Bauer just having the odd lap where he sets a quick lap and then just pauses it for a couple of laps. Just almost showing to the field, look, I have got the pace if I need it. So Anthony now leading by 5.5 seconds from Patrick. He's 3.5 seconds clear of this battle. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That's Scott Larvin out of the race. Scott Larvin's gone off at turn 1. He's spun. And Scott Larvin in the Toro Rosso. He was running 11th and he spun at turn 1. Must have connected with the wall. And he is out of the race. He becomes our 3rd retirement of the day. So shame for him. He was running well. And there is another safety car and a penalty for Jamie Callan in 5th position for speeding under the safety car. So what that means is that you get given a time delta to run to, and if you exceed that you will get a penalty, and that is what's happened to Jamie Callan in the Red Bull. He's currently 5th, but a drive-through penalty, especially just after a safety car, that is going to drop him right to the back of the grid. McLaren in the pits, that is Justin Hyam, having a difficult start to the race, has to be said. He is almost a lap down, but he's actually, just look at the driver tracker here. Yes, he is going to be not quite a lap down. He's going to be able to go past the safety car. So perfect timing in a way for him. He's going to be right at the back, but on a brand new set of tyres. So let's see how that does. Jamie Callan does now pit, but he can't do his drive-through now. Or is he doing his drive-through now? I didn't think he could do the drive-through under the safety car, but it looks as if he has. No, he has put a new set of tyres on. So Jamie Callan has taken his pit stop, and he comes out in 9th position behind the 2 Racing Points. So, and also Matt Goodyear as well, from 10th place has pitted. He comes out in 14th. So a few pit stops there. Maybe a few drivers are struggling with their tyres a little bit. So 2nd safety car of the day. I think the record for safety cars is 4 in one race. I think that was Brazil 2003. We had 4 safety cars that day. And I remember Canada in 99 actually finished behind the safety car. So let's see if we can beat that record today. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? 67 laps. But Anthony still leading by, from Patrick. Dean 3rd, Stephen 4th. 5th place for Chris Harley, driving an excellent race. We saw earlier on he had better pace than Anthony Waddington behind him. I'm just trying to see if there's any damage or anything to Waddington. Nothing that I can see. So it does appear that it's just pure pace advantage at the moment for that Alfa Romeo. Are now up into 5th place after the pit stop of Jamie Callan, who drops 9th. And of course, don't forget, he's got that drive-through penalty to come yet as well. The interesting thing here will be if Justin Hyam can actually catch the snake behind the safety car before the safety car comes in. I have a feeling it might be coming in on this lap, or certainly the next lap. One of these 2 laps it will pit. So keep an eye out for Patrick in 2nd place. We had brilliant pace earlier on. Wasn't far off the pace of Anthony Bauer, and he'll be looking to have a good restart. He was a little bit slow in the last one, held on to 3rd, but had quite a gap to Dean, who was behind after the 1st safety car. He'll be looking for a better one here. Could he possibly then launch an attack on the leader going into the first couple of corners? Look at Alfa Romeo up there in 5th place. Top 10 very quickly behind the safety car. Anthony Bauer from Patrick. Dean 3rd. Stephen 4th. 5th for Chris Harley in the Alfa Romeo. 6th for Ant Waddington in the 2nd Mercedes. Then we've got Ollie and Arthur in 7th and 8th place for the 2 Racing Points. 9th for Jamie Callan, but of course with a drive-through penalty to come. And Joe Newman is 10th in the Toro Rosso. So at the moment, Toro Rosso on for a point. They are 9th in the championship at the moment. They're 19 points behind Alfa Romeo, and with Alfa Romeo at the moment looking like picking up a bundle of points from Chris. They need to get some points on the board. Matt Anderson is 11th in the Renault, the second Renault, just run through the rest of the runners. The two Williams are 12th and 13th, so they will be certainly looking to pick up some scraps of points later on. Matt Goodyear pitted and he's come out in 14th position in the second Alfa Romeo. Gareth is 15th. Dan will be pleased with his safety car, being able to close the field right up. He's in 16th place, and 17th and last is Justin Heim. A 5-second penalty and for Ollie, and a 10-second penalty for Jamie Callan, who's got a drive through and a 10-second penalty. They might choose to do that in his pit stop, or it'll be added on to the end of the race. But getting worse for Jamie Callan now. 9th place, and the drive through is going to drop him to the back, and then another 10 seconds on top of that. Can Justin Heim catch the back of the pack? I think he might actually. He's just coming up to turns 2, 3 and 4 now, and here's the pack just going through the hairpin, so he should just about catch up to the back of the field. Hopefully he'll have a bit of a better run in the next 50 laps than he's had in the first 16. Lap 16 of the race, we're under safety car for the second time because of an accident with Scott Larvin. He is out of the race. He is our third retirement. We've had Jamie Keats retire in the Haas after first lap accident with Dan and Arthur. Sam, we saw him go straight off the grid. So I think some technical issues for Sam, but he's out of the race as well with McLaren. And then Scott spun in turn 1 and caused the safety car. He is our third retirement. I think there'll be a lot more to come yet. It wouldn't at all surprise me if you only have 10 finishes or so. Here, these conditions are very, very tricky. And I'm surprised the safety car's staying out this long, to be honest. It's out for yet another lap. I think the drivers get a little bit frustrated there. You can see quite a lot of them weaving about and all over the racetrack, so I think they're getting a little bit frustrated as well. All the damage and wreckage has gone there at turn 1. So maybe they were waiting for Justin to catch up to the back of the grid. The back of the pack, sorry. Maybe that's why they've kept it out for one more lap. He has now done that. As Justin is caught right up. So surely this lap the safety car will be coming in. And we've got 50 more laps to go. We're only on lap 17. And it's a 67 lap race. Dean from Patrick, from Dean from Stephen. That is the top 4. And they're all weaving about now, trying to keep a bit of heat in those tyres. Not so critical with those full wets. They do run at a lower operating temperature. So within a quarter or two, they should be back up to temperature. Slick tyres run at a higher temperature. It's a bit more important if it was dry to keep those slicks in check. The safety car is in this lap. The rain is still hammering down there, so we're definitely going to be on wets for a lot longer yet. But the safety car is in. So once again, Anthony Bauer becomes the de facto safety car at the front of the grid. He's bunching them all up now. Still a few of them just weaving about a little bit in the background, but that's okay. As long as they don't weave into each other. Now, is Anthony going to have such a good start once again as he did the first time round? He's gone again, and he has again caught Patrick napping a little bit. A lot closer than it was last time though. So Anthony leads him away across the grid. Look already as Jamie Callan pits immediately. I think that's to do his drive-through penalty. Let's just have a look. Yes, he's doing his drive-through now. Get that over and done with. And already, look, Stephen trying to find a way past Dean straight away. And still the Alfa Romeo hanging on brilliantly well. And Stephen's got a good run here out of turn 4. Dean's going to have to go defensive. He's going to see a Ferrari coming up his inside. Let's have a look. Not quite close enough. The brake's not quite warm enough. Look at Anne Waddington there. And having a real look. And we've got Ollie going round the outside. Bit of wheel spin on the exit. And now the other racing points getting involved. Ollie very, very close to the back of Anne Waddington. They come down into turn 8. Not quite close enough this time. But yeah, Stephen already showing his intentions to Dean. We saw them getting closer and closer. Once again, Anthony Bauer pulling away, with Patrick also pulling away. So Anthony 1 second clear of Patrick already, who's already again over a second clear of the battle for third place. Dean does seem to be struggling a little bit more in these conditions. Callum's had a very good restart. He's up into 11th place. Callum Harrod in the Williams up to 11. Anthony Bauer straight back on the pace, fastest lap immediately. 6 tenths of a second quicker than Patrick. As Dean runs very, very wide in turn 1. Is that going to give Stephen a chance? Not quite. So Dean just seems to be struggling a little bit under braking and through some of the higher speed corners. I think that's what's keeping Dean so close to him as they come through this long turn 5 once again. Is Dean close enough? He's having a little look, but he's definitely not close enough this time. You've got to say, Patrick, if anything, is just bringing that gap down a little bit on this lap. So he's having a very good restart as well. As is Chris Harley there in 5th place in the Alfa Romeo, putting nicely away from the battle going on between Anne Waddington and the 2 racing points as Dan gets past Andrew. Or does he? Well, they're fighting hard, Dan and Andrew, but I think, yeah, Andrew's made that one stick. No, he hasn't. Dan's back through. Dan is up into 13th position there. A good fight there. Callum's homing in on the battle for 9th ahead of him between Joe Newman and Matt Anderson. So that's another good battle there. Could be crucial points for Williams. They're a long way back in the World Championship. So it could be crucial for them to get some points. Dean again a little bit wide coming down the Sachs curve. And definitely here, Patrick in the Renault seems to have a little bit more grit and confidence than Anthony Bauer. He's pulled back a couple of tenths on that lap. So the lead is now just over a second as Matt Anderson gets past Joe Newman and into the lead. I think Joe ran a little bit wide coming out the final corner, and as a result Matt Anderson pounced from the back of the grid. Don't forget Matt Anderson, he's now up into 9th place as Justin Hyam pits again from last place, and there is Callum in the Williams just behind that is Matt Goodyear, who has also pitted. So the 2 racing points getting very close together. Arthur's got past Ollie. Looked a little bit of teamwork there. Maybe they knew he was quicker, and there's Callum having to defend hard from Matt Goodyear. Look at this, and Matt's had a very good run out of the hairpin, and Matt takes over 11th place. Not sure if it was a mistake from Callum or if he just was having to defend, but either way Matt's through, and now is closing right up on Joe Newman. This is the battle for 10th, 11th and 12th. Don't forget the new point system this year. All drivers will get some points all the way down to last place, and as well fastest lap for inside the top 10 gets an extra point for pole position, so Dean has got 1 point on the board already, and fastest lap for outside the top 10 gets 2 points. So at the moment, fastest lap outside the top 10 goes to Dan in the Red Bull. He's 13th. Expect to see him coming back through the field. Look at this. Matt and Joe Newman get very close together on the run down to turn 2. Matt's going defensive. Joe jinks at the last second, and Dan's got past Callum as well. And Joe Newman's lost that place now. He's going to try and come back at that. This is the run down to the hairpin, and there's Dan Blackwell in the background looking on with interest. How late is Joe going to brake? He's braking very late, and Matt just gives him the space, trying to hang on around the outside. They bump wheels a little bit, and Matt pushed a little bit wide, but still Joe's not giving up. This is going to be great to hang on in there. And just about, I thought they were going to come to blows there, but just about. And look at Dan and Callum in there as well, watching on with interest. Joe Newman really trying hard, but took a bit too much curb there, and as a result has now fallen back a little bit. Anthony Bauer, meanwhile, has now stretched his lead out to nearly 3 seconds out front. Dean and Stephen still very, very close together in the battle for 3rd place. Anthony Bauer sets another fastest lap. If anything, actually, these two are just starting to come back at Patrick a little bit. He's had a couple of difficult laps as Patrick, and now he's just over a second again clear of this battle for 3rd place, which is kind of seems to be spurring Dean on a little bit, because he's being able to keep Stephen behind him a lot more comfortably than he was before. So lap 22. About 3rd distance now. 2 safety cars already. Anthony Bauer leads by 2.5 seconds from this developing battle for 2nd. Patrick just seems to be struggling a little bit at this stage of the race. Dean and Stephen still close together. This is the 5th place man, Chris Harley, having a brilliant run in the Alfa Romeo. Don't forget here, Chris started in 11th place, had a good start, avoided all the carnage at the start, and he's up to 5th with Ant Waddington for company in 6th. Still doesn't quite seem on the pace, Ant Waddington, that he was at other races, but he's still just about close enough to be making Chris double check his braking points and not run wide enough to put a bit of pressure on him. But at the moment, you've got to say he's looking fairly comfortable for Chris there in 5th place. And yes, these 3 now are definitely close together. Patrick, Dean and Stephen. Maybe Patrick has taken a bit too much out of his tyres. What I can see as well, he seems to be just maybe overused the fuel a little bit. Might be having to do a bit of fuel conservation at this stage of the race as well. So maybe that could be why he's falling back into the battle. Either way though, it's still an excellent start to this race. 3rd on the grid. And he's did a brilliant overtake on Dean to move into 2nd, which is where he still is. 2nd position for this Renault. And don't forget, Renault were expected to struggle here. They're probably the least powerful engine out there. Definitely quite a way behind the Mercedes and the Ferrari, almost certainly behind the Honda as well. But Patrick doing very, very well. Definite racing line though now, does make it a little bit easier. Right on the front wing of Patrick here briefly. Does make it a little bit easier having that racing line. You don't have as much standing water there. So Patrick just started to stretch out again a little bit, and Dean started to come under pressure again from Stephen. This is a great battle here between these 3, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And Waddington getting a little bit closer to Chris Harley as well in the battle for 5th. The 2 racing points are doing well as well. They're on 7th and 8th place now. Callum slipped back to 13th. They've still got Joe Newman ahead of him in company. Dan's recovered up to 11th. That 2nd safety car really has helped Dan. He was quite a long way back at the back of the pack there as Jamie Callan overtakes Callum as well. So the 2 Williams, 14th and 15th. But anything can happen here. We've already seen 3 retirements and 2 safety cars. You never know what's going to happen in this race. As Dan is now challenging Matt Goodyear in the battle for 10th place. So some great midfield scraps going on. We're still looking at this battle here for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Patrick, if anything, just starting to stretch away again a little bit now. And Dean starting to come under a little bit more pressure from Stephen. Stephen's ramping up the pressure once again. So can he get past? I mean, definitely Anthony Bauer seems to have the advantage here. We heard JBL earlier, one of the managers say, he thinks the Renault, the Ferraris will be the team to beat round here, but definitely Anthony Bowers qualifying just seems to have that little bit of an edge over his teammate at this racetrack, and we're seeing it again in the race. He's got a 3.5 second lead, and he is over 6 seconds clear of Stephen. We've only been out from behind the safety car for 5 laps, so I know Stephen's in traffic. As Andrew pits in the Williams from 15th position, so he will slip behind Gareth. Not sure about, I think he'll comfortably stay ahead of the McLaren at the back of the grid. So as Anthony Bauer relentlessly now is increasing that gap, it's out to nearly 4 seconds now. I'm going to try and find this other battle that's going on here, because it's quite a good one going on currently for 5th place. Because Chris Harley with Ant Wallington right behind him, and right behind that is Arthur Bowler. We saw the 2 racing points swap positions a few laps ago, and Arthur Bowler has just chipped away at this gap to Ant Wallington and is now less than a second behind. Of course, no DRS of course in these conditions, far too dangerous for that. But he has closed this gap down. We know that racing point, we saw it in qualifying, seems to be handling pretty well. Same Mercedes engine in the back as the works Mercedes, as Ant has a bit of oversteer coming out the final corner, giving Chris a bit of free space. He's going to get a bit of oversteer from that. Maybe the rear tyres are starting to go on that Mercedes. We're getting towards half distance, so some of them will be starting to think about pit stops. Ant run wides again, so Ant's made a few mistakes here. Hasn't overcooked his tyres, because now Arthur Bowler's right on his tail, and if he has got a good exit out of turn 4, he could be challenging him down into the hairpin. Ant's going down the middle of the track to try and defend his position. That's all he can do really, and it's worked for now. But we've already seen some great overtaking from Arthur, and I think we could be about to see a bit more, because now with Chris getting away a little bit there in 5th place, these two are very, very close together. Arthur trying to distract Ant a little bit, but I think that's too wise for that one as they go through turns 8, 9 and 10. But yes, Chris is over a second clear of this battle now, about 1.5 seconds clear of this battle now. So Chris having a good couple of laps, very consistently putting in some good lap times as Chris. Great start to the race for him, as Anthony Bauer sets another fastest lap, stretches his lead out to 4.7 seconds in the lead. Dean just starting to come back a little bit at Patrick. There's just a second between them, and he's nearly a second clear of Dean as well. Chris still running well in 5th ahead of Andy. We've got Arthur 7th behind this lot. Ollie is 8th. Matt Anderson's up to 9th with Dan for company in 10th. I think that's the next closest back on the track. Here we see it. Matt Anderson with Dan Blackwell right behind him. Dan was the car that connected with Jamie Keats early in the race. Had to have that long pit stop for a front wing. And I think he had a bit more damage in the just afterwards. He had to make a second pit stop. But now, after that second safety car, it's enabled him to go right up, and he's back in the top 10 now, and really pushing Matt Anderson hard for 9th. Ollie just ahead of them, also driving well. Ollie started in 12th position, so he'll be pleased to be up in 8th currently in this race. Further down the grid, well, Callum's still on the tail of Joe Newman. Andrew's pit stop saw him come out in 16th position, so can he now close the gap to Gareth? As Carl's reading a bit there in the background, but there's something with a bit of traction. But it's still very close in the battle for second. A penalty for Chris Harley. Like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of that here. Due to the conditions, it's very, very difficult to keep the car on track. It's so slippery out there. Now, what can Dan do about the Renault ahead of him? As Matt runs a little bit wide through turns 2 and 3, that will That sharpens the angle for turn 4, so you can't quite take it as quick as you want. And Dan has got a good slipstream here. Can he do anything about it? On the run down to the hairpin, not quite close enough. Oh, he's having a lunge though. He is having a lunge. That was brave from Dan. Saw a gap, went for it. I didn't think it'd be close enough, but it was. And he's up into 9th place. So great move from Dan. His next target is Ollie in the racing point, just ahead of him. But very, very brave driving there from Dan. Second in the championship as well, of course. Doesn't want to be losing too many points, so he'll be trying to get through the pack as quickly as he can. Already having a look at Ollie trying to distract him. Meanwhile, just ahead of them, Ant and Arthur still very close together. They're just hanging on to Chris ahead of them. And Stephen's getting closer and closer once again to Dean. He backed off for a few laps. Now he looks like he's coming back at him once again as Dean gets another penalty. We saw him get one earlier in the race. So, Dean at the moment is falling back into the clutches of Stephen. That exit of turn 4, that seems to be the crucial thing. Get a good exit from there. And you can have a go. And Stephen's having a little look. Now, I don't think he'll do anything silly. He's been around too long, as Stephen, from that. One of only 3 drivers on the grid who were with us for the first season, of course. Stephen, Callum and Gareth are the 3 who were in it from the beginning. So I think Stephen's been around too long to try anything silly here. And Ollie and Dan getting very close together as well in the battle for 8th place. Let's have a look. Here we can see it. Dan's obviously gone around the outside and Ollie's just held on. And now Ollie going down the middle of the track. Does that break himself? Oh, he has. That's left the door open for Dan. Ollie just outbraked him. Went so late trying to hang on to 8th position. And he ran wide, was on the curb. And he needs to lose traction on the curb a lot. And to let Dan through. So Dan up into 8th place. He's now got just under 6 seconds to close up to Ollie's teammate Arthur, who's in that battle with Ant and Chris Harley. Chris Harley pits. So Chris, on lap 30 of the race, becomes the first of the leading group to pit. These 3, Patrick's had another couple of poor laps. He's now slipped to 7 seconds off the lead, and he now has Dean coming right behind him with Stephen, of course. These 3 very, very close together. And Patrick just hanging on. We're on lap 30 of the race. We're getting towards half distance, another couple of laps. And could it be an inspired decision there for Chris to pit when he has? Try and keep him ahead of Ant and Arthur, who are very, very close behind. Dan is closing the gap now as well. Now up to 7th place. After Chris's pit stop, Joe Newman's pitted as well, which has released Callum. So Joe's come out in 15th position, just ahead of Andrew, who maintains the position over that Williams. I don't think the undercut's quite as effective on the wet tyres as they would be on the slicks. As I said, sometimes the wet tyres actually get a little bit quicker due to the track and the heat cycle in the tyres. So but Patrick's responding. He's closed the gap down a little bit to the leader, but he is now dragging Dean and Stephen with him. So he's gained about half a second to Anthony Bauer on that lap. They're these top 5 are the only 5 still on the same tyres from the start of the race. We've had quite a lot of pit stops. Some due to damage, some have just pitted under the safety cars. But Patrick once again just stretching this gap out a little bit. So he is driving well, Patrick. Whatever the issues are, we've seen him drop back. He does seem to be able to have the pace to stretch the gap back out once again. And he's back out to over a second clear of Dean. So I don't know if Dean, I'm wondering if the Mercedes might have a dry setup on, so it'll be very low on downforce. So as soon as he gets close to another car, he's struggling to keep it on the road. But either way, as soon as Dean gets up to the back of Patrick, he falls behind very, very quickly. brings him back out to that 1.3 second mark, and Stephen is all over the back of that Mercedes, and Wellington is up to 5th, but he's 12 seconds adrift in this battle now. Excuse me. So Joe Newman immediately pounces on Gareth to move up into 14th position. Oh, there's a yellow flag. There is a yellow flag. I think that was Gareth there, just getting pushed off the road a little bit by Joe Newman. He'll just about recover from that. So now, as Patrick continues to just close the gap down a little bit now. It was at 7 seconds as Callum makes his second pit stop of the day. He's up to 13th. But yes, Patrick was about 7 seconds behind Anthony Bauer in the lead. He's now down to less than 6. So Patrick is picking up the pace a little bit here. And Anthony coming up to the back of some traffic. I'm just trying to see who it is. I think it is the McLaren. And Arthur's got past Ant Waddington. Arthur is past Ant Waddington up into 5th place. Yes, it is the McLaren of Justin Heim here that Anthony Bauer's coming through to lap. But he has definitely dropped off the pace a little, but he was in the 25s. He's now down in the 28s. Let's see what Patrick's doing behind. He's in the 27s, so he is just closing that gap down another couple of tenths off, quite a lot of tenths off that lap. 3 tenths of a second he gained on that lap. As Ant Waddington pits from 6th position, he just lost a position to Arthur. And Dan is also chipping away at that gap. He's now up into 6th after Ant's pit stop. And he's now just 3 seconds behind Arthur. So, and once again, Dean just starting to peg back Patrick again. So he gets to about a second and a half and then he starts putting it back again. I do wonder if it is a low downforce setup on that Mercedes. In these conditions, he's struggling to get too close to the back of another car. I think that might be one of the issues, because we're seeing this a lot. He's dropping back to a second and a half and then immediately pulling it back again and then dropping back again. So I think Dean might just be struggling a touch in these conditions, but he's still there in 3rd place and he's comfortably clear. Apart from Stephen right behind him, he's comfortably clear of the rest of the field. Gareth pits as well. We're now at the halfway point of the race on lap 33 of 67. And Anthony Bauer leads by 6.5 seconds as Stephen pits. Stephen in the Ferrari pits. So he was running 4th. He's been stuck behind Dean the entire race. And Stephen Harrison pits. So where is he going to come out? I think he might just be behind Dan Blackwell, but still hang on to 6th position, because I think Matt Anson's a bit too far behind. If he does, and Matt pits anyway. So that's good for Stephen. He should have a bit of clear air. And also into the pits comes Ollie in the Racing Point. So 3 pit stops from inside the top 10 on that lap. And Waddington just gets back ahead of Ollie. So Arthur Bowler right now is up to 4th place. And he is pushing quite hard. So can he do the overcut on that Waddington and get past him that way? Dan and Stephen are actually very close together. There we can see it. And Stephen on his brand new tyres trying to get alongside Dan, but not quite working out that time. Jamie Callan and Matt Goodyear very close as well. Jamie Callan just ran him out of road there. That's perfectly acceptable to do. Just nudge your opponent out of road. And Jamie Callan also on a recovery drive, don't forget. After his drive-through penalty, he is back into 7th place as Patrick pits from 2nd. So into the pits comes Patrick. Now where is he going to come out? Is this a response to the pit stop of Stephen? I don't think it's going to help Stephen, though, the fact he's in the battle with Dan. I think that's going to cost him time, and it should mean The Renault team have serviced him already, and I think as Dan picks as well. But yes, the Renault of Patrick still ahead. In fact, look a little bit more ahead of Stephen than he was before. So didn't help Stephen there having the Red Bull there. And same as is not helping Patrick having the racing point right in front of him. Arthur Bowler up into third place. Patrick needs to clear this racing point as quick as possible. There's a chance for Dean to snatch back second. We've seen how much time it cost Stephen earlier on. And yes, Patrick nicely up the inside and takes third place. And we've got someone going on to intermediates. That's interesting. Matt Goodyear in the Alfa Romeo has put on a set of intermediate tyres. Well, that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Is that what some of these leaders are trying to hang on to till the Inters become the tyre to go on to? I'm going to try and watch the gap between Matt and Ollie and see if he starts closing or losing dramatically. Seems pretty even at the moment. What do Ferrari do? Anthony Bauer in the pits from the lead, and he goes on to another set of full wet. So I think that's pretty clear what he thinks is the tyre to be on. Lap 36 now. Dean has taken the lead due to him not stopping yet. Patrick is comfortably into third place. Arthur Bowler pits from what was fourth. And Matt, I'm going to try and find Matt now, see how he is actually going. Is he struggling for grip? If he's not, I think we might see a few others take a gamble. He doesn't look on the ultimate pace, but he doesn't look as if he's sliding around everywhere. I think it's one of those, if he can keep it on the racing line, he could be okay here, but he is dropping back a little bit from Ollie. So it might just be a touch too early for Matt, as Jamie Callaghan is ahead of Chris Harley. That's the battle for fifth. But I don't think it'll be too long before Jamie will be pitting. He's got quite a long way on those tyres so far. So Dean now leads by just over 6 seconds from Anthony Bauer, with the Renault of Patrick another 7 seconds back, and Dean's going on for another lap. Are the conditions improving, and is that why it may be Dean staying out? We've already seen one car take a gamble on Inters, and it isn't falling back through the field. He's not quick at the moment, but he isn't falling back through the field, so it suggests it's on the edge here of which are the quickest tyres, whether it's the Inters or the full wets. So Dean Barry now leads by just under 6 seconds. We're on to lap 37. He's got a long way. Of course, don't forget, we have had 2 safety cars in that time. There's still a long way to go on this set of tyres. And he is dropping back, there's no doubt about it. He's lost about half a second already on this lap. Possibly suggesting that those tyres he's on are past their best. But you never know. As always in Formula 1, track position is vital. And in these conditions, who knows if he can stay out there. There is no mandatory pit stop in wet conditions, so he can go to the end if he wants. I'll be amazed if he gets those tyres to the end, but he is going again for another lap. So on to lap 38 now. The gap's down to 4 seconds as Anthony Bauer sets the fastest lap of the race on a 26.3, so quite a lot quicker. Oh, and Dean runs very wide in turn 2. Completely outbrakes himself. Matt Goodyear still dropping back a little bit from Ollie in front of him, and that's the gap I'm keeping an eye on between Ollie and Matt in 11th and 12th position, because of course Matt is on those Inters. As soon as he starts closing the gap, I think we'll see quite a few start to do the same thing. And of course, could he also be testing the track for his teammate who's up in 6th, right behind Jamie Callum? Very, very good day so far for Alfa Romeo. with possibly a 5th place in the offing here for Chris Harley, who's actually got a big gap over Ant Waddington after the pit stop. Ant's got Dan now for company. Arthur's dropped back a little bit as well. So, and Dean's lost well over a second on this lap, so he really is struggling on those very, very old full wet tyres now. We're seeing Anthony Bauer catching him very, very quickly. The clouds are definitely lightening. They're not as heavy as they were. It was very, very grey before. And Dean pits. Dean pits from the lead. I think, well, Patrick's definitely going to get ahead of him, and so is Stephen. I don't think there's going to be a lot here that Dean can do about it. What tyres does he go on to? Another set of full wet, so he doesn't feel ready for the intermediates yet either. And Stephen has got past. So Stephen is just starting to chip into the gap to Patrick ahead of him. Patrick retakes 2nd position in the Renault. And Stevens just starts to chip into that gap. It was 2.5, it's now at 1.7. So the gap is just dropping down a little bit. And Waddington still with Dan Blackwell for company. That is the battle for 7th place. As Arthur gets another penalty. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of them here this afternoon. Max Goodyear in 12th position. Pits. I think he's giving up on those intermediates. He was dropping into the clutches of Callum. Brave call. It could have really gained him a lot of time if it was the right call, but I think we're going back onto the full wets. No, not to the intermediates. Well, that's an interesting one. Another set of intermediates here. Runs wide out the pit lane. He can get away with that. Probably get a warning for that, but nothing else. But that's interesting. He's made another stop. He's in 15th position now. So we'll keep an eye on him. This is the other good battle on track. Ant Waddington in 7th position with Dan Blackwell in the Red Bull right behind him. And Chris Harley in the Alfa Romeo looks stretching away a little bit up front, nearly approaching 2 seconds clear of this battle now. So an excellent run here for Chris, and he is pressuring Jamie Callan in the other Red Bull, who I'm sure will be stopping soon. And look at Dan swarming all over the back of the Mercedes. Not a lot he can do at the moment. He's had a much better run though out of turns 3 and 4. This could be an opportunity here for Dan. We saw him do a fantastic move on one of the racing points earlier on. Can he do the same thing here on a Mercedes? He'll be brave to do it from there. And Ant saw it coming and went up the inside to prevent that happening. Dan trying to do the cutback, a bit too far back for that. So Ant hangs on to 7th place. He's dropping back from the Alfa Romeo ahead of him. As Matt Goodyear pits again, maybe it was a mistake in the pit stop. I think they are going to put full wets back on that car. Might have been a mistake in the previous pit stop. And let's have a look. Yes, brand new set of full wet. So it was a bit too early for him. But Anthony Bauer, what can you say about him now? He's got a 9-second lead out front from this man, Patrick, in the Renault, having a brilliant race. Scored 17 points so far. He's going to more than double that here if he stays where he is. He's on for 21 points here for 2nd place, having a brilliant drive, and he's pulling away again from Stephen. So having a very good run. Has looked at times as if he's about as quick as the Ferrari in front of him. You can't help thinking that Anthony Bauer's taking it easy for some periods in this race, because when he needs to, he pulls out the fastest lap and then just goes quiet for a few laps, back and closes the gap down a bit, and then Anthony pulls out another one, which sees him pull away quite substantially. But Joe Newman and Callum still very close together in the battle for 12th and 13th position. They've been close for quite a long time as well. And I think this is kind of underlining as well that Dean was definitely holding up Stephen, because he's falling back. He's now over 4 seconds behind Stephen and falling back as well. So, yellow flag in sector 1. I think that might be, yes. Matt Goodyear's out of the race, and a virtual safety car, so our third safety car period of the day. Matt Goodyear's done the same as Scott Larvin earlier in the race and has spun off into the wall at turn 1. But we saw him with the indecision with the tyres earlier on, and now he is out of the race, so that's our 4th retirement. So virtual safety car. They have to slow down by 40% here. But it's green again. They cleared it very, very quickly. It's under the virtual safety car. They have to slow down by 40%. Or else they face getting the penalty. They all did it excellently there. And they managed to clear that Alfa Romeo away very, very quickly. And a yellow flag this time in sector 2. I think that might... I'll see what that is actually. No one seems to be going particularly slowly. I'll tell you who did lose out quite a lot in that virtual safety car here was this battle for 5th between Jamie Callan and Chris Harley. They're now got Ant Waddington right behind him as the McLaren get badly in the way of Dan. That was not going to please Dan at all. Lost a lot of time there, did Dan, but these two have suddenly got Ant for company, and you kind of think Dan might be long before he's there as well. So this is 5th, 6th and 7th place. Still think that Jamie's going to have to stop at some point. It's on 29 laps on those tyres so far. We're on to lap 43. The lead is down to 8.1 seconds. So Patrick still pushing hard in the Renault. In second place, he's now 3 seconds clear of Stephen. With Dean falling back all the time in 4th place. But these last 24 laps are going to seem like a long time for these drivers. They've had to concentrate so much so far with these wet conditions. The race has settled down a little bit. The track doesn't look too bad. Certainly not as bad as I've seen in the past. So I think it is settling down. Fastest lap from Anthony Barry, who's another lap back, a 1:25.8. Just to stamp his authority a little bit more. Felt Patrick was getting a bit too close. So just sets the lap time comfortably quicker than the Renault. Gets the lead back up to 9 seconds. Here is the battle, main battle on track. Jamie Callan in 5th, Chris Harley 6th, and Waddington 7th, with Dan Blackwell not far behind. It's a Red Bull sandwich here of an Alfa Romeo and a Mercedes. In the battle for 5th position, 4 seconds down the road is Arthur Bowler. He's lost out in the pit stop somewhere, and he's struggling to recover a little bit now. Still there in 9th position. Just run through the rest of the runners. Matt Anderson is 10th. Ollie in the second racing point is 11th. Joe Newman is 12th, that's ahead of Callum Harron in 13th position. Andrew is 14th in the second Williams. 15th is Justin Heim. He's got ahead of Gareth, who's currently running last in 16th position, but still another 5 points for Gareth in the World Championship. Which could be crucial for Haas, like I said, in that battle with Racing Point and Renault. At the moment, Renault on to gain a massive 32 points. Haas only getting 5 at the moment. So 27 points. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is Chris Harley up the inside of Jamie Callan. That was brave. And he's made his stick. That was a very brave move. A very difficult place to pass. But Chris Harley's made his stick. And Jamie thought about coming back at him. But thought better of it in the last couple of corners. Chris Harley with a stunning move to move into 5th position. And now Ant Waddington's having a little look as well. There's the racing point in the background. Dan's caught back up to this little one as well. So now, can Chris hang on to 5th position, or will he start stretching away? Or can the Red Bull come back at him? I don't think he's got the traction. Chris on much fresher tyres, of course. Jamie's gone over 30 laps on these tyres so far. The longest one we've seen on these full wets is about 33 laps. And here comes Ant Waddington now having a look into the hairpin. And no defence from Jamie. He's braking very late. He so nearly catches the back of the Alfa Romeo, but just about gets away with it. And he hangs on round the outside. That was brave stuff. Able to hang on around the outside there. So nearly collected that Alfa Romeo ahead of him. As Callum pits again in Williams. So he is running now in 14th position. We're on lap 46, we've got 21 laps to go after the one they're on. Anthony Bauer's lead is now out to 9.5 seconds. As always, Jamie tries to return the favour, but Chris saw that one coming and Jamie backed out of it at the last second once again. Some excellent driving going on from these guys here today. It's so easy in these conditions just to snatch a wheel and end up sliding straight to the car in front. A little bit of damage there as well. Right front end plate is missing on that Red Bull's front wing. So I'm not sure if he lost that just now against the Alfa Romeo. I didn't see anything bouncing off, or whether he lost that earlier, which would expect. Oh, look at that! And was trying to look down the inside of one Red Bull. He had the other Red Bull going around the outside. Now it doesn't have the pace. No, Dan is through. Dan had the better grip coming round the outside of turn 2. Can Ant now get the slipstream? Dan's going defensive. Can Ant go right round the outside? This is what Jamie Cannon's done a few times. And no, and Dan parks it on the apex to prevent the undercut. So brilliant defensive driving. Dan on his recovery drive. Don't forget he's up to 7th place now. What are they going to do at Red Bull? Are they going to let Dan go? Jamie Cannon down in 13th on the championship, 52 points. Of course, Dan right up the top needs as many points as he can get from here today from his recovery. He's 7th behind, getting 14 points. An extra point for 6th would help, and who knows, he could get Canada for 5th position, which would mean he would only lose a couple of points to Stephen in the World Championship. Are Red Bull going to play that, or are they going to let them race? I think the sensible thing would be just to let them go. And yes, Dan, I think he's always having a look, but Jamie turned in. So maybe the message hasn't quite got through yet. But from a World Championship perspective, Jamie Cannon's a long way out of the World Championship. Dan's right up there. He needs the points. A lot more than Jamie does. Surely, sense is going to prevail here. Dan's got a good run on Jamie. Jamie is going a bit defensive though. And down, and yes, I think Jamie in the end realised what was going on, and Dan is now up into 6th position. Dan spun it! Dan has a spin, he just put a wheel on the white line at the exit of the hairpin, and he half spins it, lucky not to end up in the wall there. And he's now dropped back to 9th. He's got to do a bit more recovery here, because he was up into 6th very, very briefly, but a wheel on the line, bit too much throttle, and he nearly went into the wall. Well held to avoid that. He has now dropped back into 9th place. So Anthony Bauer out front. His lead is now 10.5 seconds from Patrick in the Renault. I can't get over how well Patrick's driving here. 2nd position, still 2 seconds clear of Stephen. I did expect Stephen, once Dean was out of the way, to really home in on that Renault, but at the moment it's not happening. And Patrick really, really driving well. 3rd on the grid, row 2. Showed he had some genuine pace around here. Brilliant move on Dean, earlier on in the race to take 2nd place. And he's held it ever since. And he's occasionally looked a bit of a threat. Ant Waddington now has passed Jamie Callan as well. Jamie's coming back up the inside once again. This is great stuff between these two. They're really fighting hard. And Jamie Callan back into 6th place. Ant Waddington's had a slightly better run. That's going to be brave around the outside of turn 7. Can Ant keep his footing? Well, he ran wide there onto the painted concrete where he's got such little grip out there. So Jamie Callan really pushing hard and fighting hard to maintain position. He's in 6th place. He's dropped a place behind Chris Harley. He's now 2 seconds up the road. Don't forget as well, of course, Jamie's done 35 laps nearly now in this set of tyres. Longer than anyone else has done. Can he make these tyres go to the end? We're only 18 laps from the end after this lap. So, I suppose it's possible. But Ant Waddington really snapping at his heels. And Arthur Bowler's closing right up as well, as is Dan once again. Oh, and very close to the back of that Red Bull. Brakes a little bit too late. And that's given Jamie a little bit of breathing space on the run down to the hairpin once again. So these two are fighting so hard. For 6th place. They are actually just starting to close back in again on Chris Harley. He's had a bit of a bad lap there. But Ant Waddington really trying hard. He qualified 9th, and I think he was hoping for a bit of a better race than he's having. But both Mercedes do seem to be struggling for pace. We see it with Dean as well, starting on the pole, and has just slowly drifted back. And he's currently 4th, but not on the pace of the leaders at all. So Stephen gets another penalty. So they come through. They're on lap 50. He's supposed to be lap 49. The leader's on lap 50. 10.5 seconds clear still of Patrick in 2nd place, who's still 3 seconds clear of Stephen in 3rd. So the top 3 are pretty stationary at the moment. Just Anthony Bauer every now and then comes out with a stunning lap just to stretch his lead out a little bit more. Looks in total control as again Jamie Callan runs a little bit wide in turn 2. Is that going to give Ant Waddington the momentum onto this long curving back straight? Have a go. He certainly looks close enough this time as he goes to the inside. We know how late Jamie's going to break into this hairpin. And he's done it once again and just about gives him space. And I think Jamie's passed again. Ant's going to have to go down the inside this time. Has he got it this time? I think he has. Great driving from the pair of them to avoid any contact. And Ant Waddington finally is through into 6th position. So can he now set after the Alfa Romeo ahead of him, who, I mean, earlier in the race, the Alfa Romeo was looking faster than the Mercedes, so I can't see it necessarily closing up to him this time, but who knows. And now the next challenge for Jamie is to keep Arthur Bowler behind him. He's dropped to 7th. He was up to 5th after the pit stops. He pitted quite early in the race for Jamie Callan at 14. Here we go on lap 51, and he's still on the same set of tyres. This is helping his teammate out quite a bit. He's closed him right back up again after his mistake earlier in the race, and Arthur's very, very close again on the run down. We know that Racing Point's got quite good straight line speed as they come down to the hairpin. Arthur's having to go around the outside. We know how late once again Jamie is on the brakes, and a little bit of wheel banging there. Arthur tried to turn in and shut the corner, but it was too late. Jamie got back up the inside, and Jamie hangs on to 7th place. And now Dan is very, very close to the back of the Racing Point once again. Not quite close enough. I've got to say, pretty defensive driving by Jamie all the way through this race. He seems this whole second half of the race so far. He just seems to be defending his position constantly, but he's done it brilliantly. Yes, he has got a couple of places, but I think lesser drivers would have probably slipped back a little bit more than that at the moment, to be honest. He's doing a great job there in 7th position. Not the strongest of races though for Red Bull. They started the day 155 points behind Ferrari in the World Championship. And at the moment, Ferrari first and third, gaining 44 points. And at the moment, 7th and 9th for Red Bull, gaining 26 points. So they're losing 18 points at the moment to Ferrari. And I think Jamie's going to drop back a little bit more as his tyres continue to go off. He's 38 laps now he's done on the inside. Oh, he outbraked himself. It's only Arthur. And Dan's trying to get up the inside. They both completely outbraked themselves. Jamie very lucky not trying into the back of Van Waddington there. Dan almost got up the inside, but didn't quite have the momentum on the exit to get through, and Arthur's having a look and not quite there. Now Dan's going to go around the outside. That's great driving, and Dan is through. Dan is through up into 8th place once again. So now, are Red Bull going to pull the same once again? Are they going to get Jamie Callan to just move out of the way for his teammate, give him that extra point? Let's have a look. I think, like I said before, I think it's a sensible thing to do with Dan up there in 2nd place in the championship. As both Red Bulls get a penalty there for running very, very wide. Not really surprising if Red Bulls 40 that much very wide in turn 2. I think we will see a synchronised change of positions here for all the Red Bull drivers. Can Dan this time keep it on the road? No, Jamie is fighting. He's definitely fighting. Anthony Maurer sets another fastest lap. But Anthony Maurer is fighting his teammate here. Dan will be surprised at this. And Jamie Cannon's held on. Well, that is a surprise. I really thought when I saw them getting alongside each other, I really didn't think that Jamie was going to let his teammate go, but no. Again with his late break, trick into the hairpin, worked perfectly and had the better run out of the hairpin. So maybe there isn't team orders at play here at Red Bull. They do appear to be being allowed to fight for position. We're on lap 54. Anthony Maurer's lead meanwhile is out to 13 seconds. Still Patrick maintaining a 2.5 second gap over Stephen. Dean's closed the gap a little bit, but still 5 seconds further back. In 4th place, Chris Harley is 5th and half a second behind him. Then we've got this battle, 7th, 8th and 9th, and Matt Anderson's starting to close up a little bit as well in the Renault. He is in 10th place. Don't forget what I said as well earlier on very quickly. Fastest lap outside the top 10 gets 2 points. At the moment, that's going to Ollie in the Racing Point on a 1:28.1, but don't rule out Callum for getting that. And here we go again, the 2 Red Bulls fighting hard. And still, Jamie Callan hangs on to his position. Can Dan get him on the exit? No, they can't. So maybe it wasn't team orders earlier in the race. Maybe Dan did just get a better run. And Jamie chose not to fight it. And oh, there was a little bit of contact there too. I think there was a little bit of contact there between the 2 Red Bulls. Dan brakes so late, and I think he just tapped the back end of his teammate. I don't think he's done pressure. Now look at this, Ollie's going through. He's going to be brave, and Ollie just touches. Sorry, that's Arthur, sorry. Arthur just hangs on to it, so really grabbed the position. I don't think Dan's that impressed by this. And he's getting frustrated there because he can see the battle ahead. He knows that potentially he could get another few points on the board here. If he can catch that battle there, you can see in front between Chris and Anne Waddington. But they're getting away. They're 2.5 seconds ahead of this battle now. Surely the management here at Red Bull needs to be getting in touch. That's Joey Allen of course, former driver in the league with Mercedes. Surely he's going to be getting on there, imploring his drivers to, or Jamie, to let Dan go, because they're not going to want to see them take each other out. I think Dan is getting a bit frustrated there behind his teammate. He's got a better run this time. This looks a little bit more submissive here from Jamie, but no, he's still coming back at him. But Dan is now through into 7th place. There's contact, there is contact, and Jamie spins, half spins toward the wall, and now here comes Arthur Boulder around the outside. He's got the great momentum, and he's going to maintain the position. So Jamie Callan there drops 2 places, fighting maybe a bit too hard with his teammate, has cost him another World Championship point. As Jamie Callan slips back to 9th, and there is Matt Anderson in the background in 10th position, who's just been closing up very quickly in the last few laps in the Renault. So back to the leader, we've hardly seen him. There he is, Anthony Bauer on lap 56. Coming through the traffic, he's got a 12.5-second lead over Patrick in the Renault, who is still nearly 3 seconds clear of Stephen in the second Ferrari. Dean still just chipping at the gap in 4th place, but still 5.5 seconds down. And then we've got a great battle going on now in 5th. Here it is, Chris Harley against Ant Waddington. Chris in the Alfa Romeo. That Ferrari has got good straight line speed here. Ant Waddington can't seem to do much about him. He's sort of got to within that half-second gap and can't seem to get any closer. Can Dan Blackwell in these last few laps now close up on these 2? Does look like Jamie Callan is going to try and get those tyres to the end. They're 42 laps old already, and he's going to try and get it to the end by the looks of it. Let's have a look here. Chris, I mean, I've been very impressed with Chris so far in this race. Whenever I've watched him, he doesn't seem to let the pressure get to him too much. I haven't really seen him skating wide or making any silly errors. When he's had these cars behind him, we saw him pull that brilliant move from Jamie Callan earlier in the race. So very, very good mature drive from Chris Harley here in 5th position. And he's still, oh, and Anthony is up to the inside of it this side. Chris gives him the space, but he's going to get a much better run on the exit. And he does indeed, so Chris hangs on to 5th. That's the closest Ant's got to him at any point in this race. And he nearly made that stick. But he's still there in 5th position. That Ant's just dropped back a little bit now. And Dan is closing the gap quite quickly behind them. So, Anthony Bauer still leading by 12.5 seconds. Patrick still over 2 seconds clear of Stephen. Just chipping the gap down a little bit now. Dean is still 4th. Then there's this battle. Chris 5th. And Waddington 6th. We've got Dan in 7th place, homing in on the lot of them. Arthur Bowler is 8th for Racing Point. Jamie Callan slipped back to 9th. He's a second clear of Matt Anderson in 10th. We've got Ollie 11th in the second Racing Point. Joe Newman is 12th. Andrew is 13th, being caught by his teammate in 14th position. Here goes Ant once again, this time round the outside. Chris has positioned his car very, very well and gets nicely on the brakes. Nice and late, the same time as Ant, and hangs on once again down the inside, sort of parts of the apex there. Didn't give Ant the chance to cut back. And once again, Oh, and Antal breaks himself, so nearly ran into the back of him. We've seen that a lot in the last few laps. I think the drivers are getting mentally quite tired now. It takes so much concentration to drive these conditions with such little grip all the way through, even on a brand new set of tyres. And there, look at Dan in the background, caught up in the first lap with Jamie Keats and Arthur Bowler. Dropped right down the field. I think he had another incident early on as well. Had to make another stop. The safety car, second safety car period helped him. And he's been recovering ever since. He's up into 7th place. Badly held up by his teammate for quite a while. But now he could be looking at 5th position, which would mean he would only lose 3 points this evening in the World Championship. And yes, Ant wanted to run wide. Dan's got to run at him into turn 2. Is he going to make that one stick? No, Ant nice and late on the brakes. Dan tucks back in and Ant runs a little bit wide there. And Dan, I think, is going to have the slipstream. Is he going to have the straight line speed? We've seen both Red Bulls very, very good on the brakes. Is he going to be able to outbrake him as another fast lap from Anthony Bauer? Ant goes defensive down the inside. Dan not quite close enough. He gets a great cut back there. Does he have the best? He does. That's a brilliant move by Dan. We've seen some brilliant overtakes from him today. Ant wants to still try to hang on and nearly touches the back of the Red Bull. Just about hangs on and Dan's run wide. Dan has run wide, but Ant stays behind him. Not quite enough momentum. So brilliant racing once again. We're seeing some great wheel-to-wheel action from a lot of the drivers here today. And so few accidents. So great respect being shown amongst the drivers. But Dan is up to 6th position. And he qualified 7th. So amazingly, despite all the incidents that have happened to him in this race, he looks like he's going to finish ahead of where he qualified. So you can't ask for much more than that. Can he now catch and pass Chris Harley in the last few laps to take 5th? He certainly is holding back in on him, but we've seen Chris position his car brilliantly as well in this race. I think he's going to do the same again. Jamie Callan getting very, very close. Sorry, Matt Anderson getting very close to Jamie Callan once again. Jamie now on his 47th lap on that set of tyres. As Anthony Bauer starts his 61st lap. He's got a comfortable lead now of 12 seconds still. Stephen just starting to close up a little bit on Patrick. That could be a fight we can see to the end of the race. Just a second and a half apart. But this is the battle I'm watching at the moment. Because Dan Blackwell in that Red Bull is homing in on Chris Harley, who was driven absolutely brilliantly. Started 11th, just knocked out of Q2 by his own teammate, who of course is long since retired, Matt Goodyear. But Chris Harley is going to come under pressure in these last few laps, but like I said before, he's been under pressure at different points in this race, and he's still maintained his position. So Dan just having a little look up the inside, maybe just trying to distract the Alfa Romeo. I don't think Chris is going to fall for that one. We're on lap 61, and definitely Dan is not close enough this time around. Ran a little bit wide himself in turn 2 there, did Dan. So now, as we come into the hairpin once again, Dan braking very late, a little bit too late, and it's coming back at him a little bit there. Have a look at the background there, you can see the other Red Bull with Matt Anderson's company. Matt can't quite seem to get close enough. His tyres are well past their base now as well. Also down the field, and what's about the rivalry between the two Williams drivers. Well, Callum has now got back ahead of Andrew once again. So Callum's fallen behind Andrew a few times in this race, but he always seems to be able to get back at him, get back ahead of him. So this is the battle now. Chris Harley, Dan Blackwell, and Andrew Wellington coming back at the bottom. As Andrew pits, he could be going for the fastest lap outside the top 10. here in these last few laps. Dan again weaving a bit down the pit straight, trying to distract Chris in the mirrors. Chris doesn't seem to be falling for it. It's been a very impressive drive by Chris. I haven't seen any mistakes really from him. He just always seems to get his braking point right, and it makes it very difficult for anyone to pass him. Dan trying to go a little bit tighter in turn 2 to get a better run onto this back track. He has done. He is edging closer. He's going to have to be a lunge. Chris sees it coming, goes down the middle of the racetrack, the best thing he can do. And it's also cut off the cutback there for Dan. So Chris once again positioning his car very, very well. And I think Dan's going to have to fight here to get through. Because like I say, Chris has positioned his car brilliantly throughout this entire race. And he seems to be doing it once again. They're coming up to lap a car ahead of them. I think that's Joe Newman. They're coming up to lap just ahead of them in the Toro Rosso. He's running in 12th position. Could he? No, actually it's a Williams, so it might be Andrew actually. It's Callum Pitts. So it was Callum ahead. So Callum Pitts in the second Williams from 13th position. So let's have a look here. Once again, lap 63. Meanwhile, as well, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. There is a McLaren off. Yes, it's Justin Hyam. Meanwhile, look at this. For second place, I said that Stephen was catching Patrick. It's now just half a second between them. Oh, look at this. Chris goes very defensive down the inside. Dan thought about a lunge, but then had to go back to the outside. He has got the undercut this time. Has he got enough momentum? Chris goes across to close the door. Brilliant driving again from the pair of them. He's only been close up to turn 8. Chris takes, defends the line. Dan very, very, very late. But still can't find a way through. Chris is driving absolutely brilliantly here. And he's still hanging on to 5th position as we come into the last few laps. But yes, Stephen Harrison as well has very, very quickly caught Patrick in the last few laps. And now he's just half a second behind him. Patrick now sits to 14 seconds off the lead. Anthony Bauer comfortably leading the race. Joe Newman pits as well. So does Justin Hyam in the McLaren. Look at Dan, he's swarming all over the back of the Alfa Romeo. There just seems to be no way he can get through at all here. And luckily for that, they get just ahead of the McLaren coming out of the pits. That's where the flag is. The McLaren saw him coming and slowed right down. So, how's it going this time? I think this lap Chris is just about far enough ahead. Oh, and look at that. Dan ran a little bit wide. Nat Wallington tried the move there. And Arthur Bowler's in this as well. This is a 4-car battle now for 5th position. Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Mercedes and Racing Point. 4 cars battling so hard for 5th position. Meanwhile, the leader, Anthony Bauer, is on his 65th lap out of 67. So they quickly jump to the battle for second place, because Stephen's getting very, very close to the back of that Renault. Patrick's held second for so long. Can he withstand the pressure in these last few laps? Again, placing his car very, very well. He's still hanging on to second deep. Meanwhile, he's nearly 10 seconds behind this battle now. And, well, Chris has actually got a bit of a lead now over Dan. But Dan must have made a mistake somewhere, maybe had a lunge, because Dan's now slipped to a 1.5 seconds behind. Can he close that up in the last couple of laps? As Anthony Bauer now is about to start his 66th lap, the penultimate lap of this race. It's been a great race. Not as many retirements as I expected. And look at Waddington here having a dive up the inside of Dan. Is he going to be close enough? Not quite. Although Dan does run very wide and he's on the curb. That's going to upset his momentum. Look at Arthur Bowler in there as well. He's not given up on improving his position yet either. He's in 8th. And Anthony Waddington here really putting Dan under pressure, which is giving a bit of breathing space to Chris Harley in front of him. There he is in 5th position. Here we go back to Stephen again. Not quite close enough to have a lunge up the inside of Patrick. That's the battle for second going on. In the closing stages, so much action's gone on from start to finish in this race. But on the whole, we heard it from Callum earlier, you expected a lot of retirements, a lot of safety cars. Well, we've had 3 safety car periods. But on the whole, drivers have driven very, very well to keep their cars out of the wall. Once again, Dan has closed the gap right back down again to Chris. I don't think he's going to be close enough on this lap. Anthony Bauer starts his final lap. He sets a new fastest lap as well. 1:24.827. Let's go and find the leader. There he is. Has completely dominated the race from the beginning. Great start to take the lead from Dean. And, well, he's been there ever since. He's already celebrating, look. Oh, don't get too cocky there, man. Could yet fall apart for you. Yeah, he slid into a wall. One of the Williams letting him through nicely there. But Anthony Bauer on his final lap. Driver of the day very, very quickly. I'm going to give it to Patrick for his drive in the Renault to second place. No, a very good drive from Anthony Bauer up front, and also Chris Harley in 5th place is driven brilliantly. But I think just edging it in that Renault, completely unexpected for Patrick in second place. Can he hang on to second at the end? Anthony Bauer now coming through the last few corners. He's in the stadium section for the final time. And Anthony Bauer is making a statement. He's not out of this championship yet either. And Anthony Bauer wins the German Grand Prix in torrential rain. Great drive from him. Wins comfortably in the end by 15 seconds. Patrick here also having had a stunning drive. He takes second. He's delighted as he crosses the line. Stephen third. Here comes Dean in the end, a distant 4th. Just didn't quite have the pace. Neither Mercedes did today. And Chris Harley as well. He looks like he's going to hang on to 5th position. He too has driven a stunning race in that Alfa Romeo from 11th on the grid to come home 5th. Kept himself out of trouble all the way along. And when Dan's been challenging him right at the end, and Dan wanted to pass Dan. Dan made a mistake coming into the stadium section, and now Arthur Bowler's looking at him as well, and Arthur's gone through. It all falls apart for Dan in the last lap. He loses 2 places in the last lap. But Chris Harley comes home in 5th. Anthony Waddington 6th, 7th. And I think Dan's out of petrol. I think that's what's happened. Dan has slipped back to 10th because of the penalties of his teammate. He takes 9th. But I think Dan ran out of fuel on the last lap, and that is why he cruised to the flag. It all fell apart for Dan right on that last lap. Well, what a race. What a finish we had there. I'm going to try and see if we can get the top 3 in for a chat. If it will let me load them up, let's have a look. If I can find them. So invited the top 3, but there we see the results. Anthony Bauer in the end by 18 seconds wins the race from Patrick. Stephen 3rd, Dean 4th, Ant Waddington 5th in the end. Penalties for Chris Harley dropped him back to 6th. 7th for Matt Anderson from the back of the grid. 8th for Arthur Bowler in the end. Dan dropped back to 9th. 10th for Jamie Callan, who did hang on to those tyres right to the end. Ollie 11th, Joe Newman 12th, Callum 13th for Williams, beating his teammate Andrew. Garrett, a quiet race, but comes home in 15th place. And Justin Hyam did finish the race, albeit 3 laps down, but he did finish in 16th place. We've got the top 3. Can all of you please just make sure your audio is included, just so everyone can hear you on the stream?
Yep, all good.
Good. Anthony Bauer, what a race from you. You dominated from the start. You made it look easy out there.
I was not expecting it to be a completely wet race, and right when I saw that, I knew I could have a really good chance at dominating today, and I think I did a good job at that.
You certainly did. I mean, you just seem to have the edge on your teammate all through the weekend. Would you say that's fair?
I don't know. I thought my pace wasn't too good in the dry. I thought I was a lot better here than I turned out to be. So I'm just happy he was in the wet, because I can guarantee I'm one of the better drivers here in the wet on the grid. So.
Well, I did receive a tip earlier in the week that you were the driver to watch for the race, so maybe you're a bit quicker than you thought around here. How slippery was it at the beginning of the race?
It was insane. That car and a full tank of fuel just would not want to turn. It was a lot of fun to drive. I mean, you could see the carnage behind me. There was obviously a lot of things happening.
There was indeed. Well done. A great race from you. Patrick, I'll move on to you. Great qualifying to qualify 3rd. You must be delighted to come home 2nd.
Oh man, you should have heard me after that qualifying lap. That was like one of the best laps I've ever done in this game. I was fucking screaming. But no, I had really good pace on the wet. I think Sack, I couldn't challenge Sack, but I mean, I had the Mercedes behind me and then the Snake Hips behind me. Snake Hips is really.
If you were in a better car, you'd be up there with me, no doubt.
I think I would have won that if I was in a better car. But
you did. Well, you certainly did seem to have the pace. You kept Dean. Well, you overtook Dean. You pulled away. You kept Stephen behind you. So great race. And I will say I made you my driver of the day as well. So
thank you. No, Zach, that was a good performance. Really. I was messing with you. I think you did really good.
No, I know.
You have good pace in the wet. I will give you that. Snake Hips, you pushed me really hard, and I was banking on not getting another penalty, just so you wouldn't pass me. But that was a good race.
it was very good and very well done there, Patrick. Stephen qualified 4th, come home 3rd. You've extended your championship lead. You must be happy with that.
Always. Just to finish Germany for a change. I am buzzing. Points, not even bothered. I finished Germany. No, that was,
Yes, I think you've retired the last 2 seasons, haven't you?
yeah, I did, yeah. I've not finished it yet.
Yeah.
Turn 1 got me every time, but I seem to do it better in rain than I do in dry, so.
What did you think at the start of the race when you saw how wet it was? Were you hoping for a good race, or were you dreading it?
No, I was dreading it. But I think 2 laps in got me rhythm, and I think I just stuck to that rhythm. I was unlucky with a couple of penalties. One of them I caught because I swear down I never went over the line. I had a tyre on track and everything. So just in case, Cookie just got one at the end. I recorded it just in case. Could have been rescinded, you never know. But no, I had a
You had a great fight. You had a great fight with him there, though, toward the end of the race. Did you just think you were just going to nick it?
yeah, so I had chased him, but I think 3 laps to end my fuel was in minus only just, so I just had to drop it down for a lap and then bring it back. A couple of laps or maybe a bit longer in lean mode on the safety car. I could have probably gone for it, but I still don't think I'd have got it. It's kind of hard to catch anybody and then pass, to be honest.
And we move on to Hungary next. Are you all looking forward to that?
No.
No.
Nobody is.
Wait, are you guys all on pad? Zach and Snake Kids, are you on pad?
Yeah,
No,
I am.
Oh, Zach, good luck, man. Temps are pretty bad.
I
I'm
know.
on pad as well, and I can't wait for that.
Well, thank you very much, and we gave us a very entertaining race, and I'll see you all next week at Hungary.
Catch you all later. Well done, boys.
Well done.
Yeah, Zach, that was really consistent. It was annoying me how you kept doing fastest lap. Calm down, Lewis. Jesus.
I was doing
Well,
that on purpose. I was like,
thank
what
you.
should I do it now? Should I do it now?
Well, thank you to everyone for watching the stream this evening. I will just very, very quickly just say, personally, thank you to all the key workers out there who are helping us all out at the moment around this country. And everyone just stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.